NorCal Sports Network, from the group show to NorCal Sports Network. We've got the great Ned Colletti and Larry Krueger here, along with Eric. Welcome, everybody. We'll continue this thing. We got Ned for another 10, 12 minutes or so. I had a question at the end of Larry's show, and I'll ask it here right at the top. It's a comment and a question, Ned. You mentioned the 6 teams in the playoffs. Had that format been alive back in 97, you and Brian would have made the playoffs 8 straight seasons.
That is incredible.
Yeah, from 97 to 04,
That is
the Giants would have been a wild card or a division winner every year. So take that, Giants fans who still don't think some people still got to think the old regime, they just didn't have it. But it's you guys would have made the playoffs 8 straight years. Then the Giants had 4 losing seasons, followed by 8 straight more winning seasons. 16 out of 20.
That's incredible. I got a question for you guys now, Eric. What was that music you guys opened with?
Oh, I pulled it off. As a matter of fact, it was the YouTube creator. I guess you could go in there and look for royalty. You could either pay for it, or you could find some royalty-free stuff, and then you don't have to worry about getting those copyright strikes.
It sounded like the James Gang for a second.
Yeah, I like that bluesy feel. I like that.
Yeah, we do everything. Try to do everything free here on the NorCal Sports. Now, here's my question for you, Ned. You mentioned we talked about the playoffs and the long wait maybe that the 1 and 2 seeds have, and I want to see what you think of this. It probably will never happen. It probably logistically doesn't work, but I think you should reward the 1 seed and the 2 seed if you're playing 162 games. Make those other teams, hey, you didn't get the top seed. So Monday, the day after the season ends, it's a 3-game set, and starting Thursday, no day off unless you win it in 2. You're going to LA and you're playing. You get your first day off when you go to your park after the first 2 games.
What if you have a tie at the end of the season?
Well, you bump it back one day. You back it off one day.
Well, what if we gave people Monday off in the event and then played a doubleheader on Tuesday?
I love it. With a 2-hour with this pitch clock. I mean, hey, you know what? Do a doubleheader and let the rosters go to 30. 32.
Look at Dan.
25, 26.
It's a negotiation.
I don't know. I just don't think of a team that plays 162 and dominates should have to sit a week.
Well, it's teams that clinch early like to rest their guys. Teams that clinch early use their starting pitchers less. Teams that clinch early give starters miss a start, throw a bullpen, throw an inning or 2. I think in sports, people look for reasons why things happen. The thing that they look at least or last is the other team played pretty good.
Yeah.
We just got beat. But there's always got to be let's analyze, well, it was a lot of days off. Clayton had the game 1 against Arizona was terrible. He didn't pitch every 5th day the last 2 months of the season.
There's something to be said about being in rhythm. The Giants won their World Series by closing late and just getting hot at the right time.
There's no doubt. But not every team has done that.
Yeah.
Early get in at the last minute and get beat. Sometimes the other team just plays better.
Dodgers, there's no question. What is the feeling in LA going, with LA? I mean, obviously they're the best franchise going right now in the big leagues. Now people would question that because they haven't won the World Series, but they're spending the most money. They're winning on and off the field. They're developing their own talent. They're signing top international talent. They're expanding their brand. I mean, it's the Dodgers, I would say right now, are on top of the baseball world, even though they're not the defending World Series champions. But they haven't won the World Series outside of the bubble or whatever, outside of the strike season, which none of us count here. They haven't won the World Series in a long, long time outside of that one. What's the feeling in Los Angeles, Ned, as far as the fans there? I mean, are they like Giants fans? Are they like Niners fans? Like they're not happy with winning all the regular season winning without the championship? Or is it just LA and it's like, they're just going to go and show up and they don't really care?
I've been there 18, 19 years. It's never been like this. It's never been this exciting, this much expectation, this much quote on the line as there is now. And, they've done everything they can do to put an entertaining product out there night after night. Tickets are going to be expensive. Going to the game is not going to be an economical cheapness to it. But they have got a city that loves that franchise, probably loves them more than they have in 20 some years. So we'll see how it goes. They've only got one thing that will satisfy it at the end, though: to play in October and win the final game. That's the bottom line. It's crystal clear to everybody. I happened to see Dave Roberts the other night and love Dave Roberts, former Giant, and talked for a couple minutes, and that's what they're geared for. And and they look very well long view. Clayton probably ain't going to pitch till after July. Pretty good if he's healthy. Pretty good acquisition late in the season, right? And so they don't put all their eggs in today's basket. They are spread out over the course of a long time. Walker Buehler probably not going to start the season on time, right? Coming off of Tommy John. He's the right-handed Baumgartner for me. The compete is off the chart. So they can wait. Arizona may challenge them. San Diego, San Francisco, not going to challenge them. So Colorado, nobody ever talks about Colorado, but they ain't, I don't know who they're going to challenge, but
Giants.
So they got a long way to play it out, and they'll take their time and they'll measure it, and they'll be in no hurry because they know they got the thoroughbred.
Wow.
Hey, Ned, real quick, I heard you guys talking about Snell and Montgomery. That's actually kind of like the talk that's been going on lately ever since the Giants have been having being plagued by injuries with the young guys. There's a guy out there, pretty good starter, has gone on record saying he would be willing to take the league minimum, and that guy is Trevor Bauer. Now, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you're a GM, would you take a flyer on Trevor Bauer, or is he got to do some other things before he can even start thinking about coming back to the MLB?
All I know is what I've read,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not enough to make a decision. Either way,
Okay.
I just don't know enough.
Would you meet with him?
I don't know. It's after you don't have to do something for a while, you kind of shut your brain off as to what you would do. I have enough to do day in, day out.
Well, if they hired me as a GM, I'd meet with him. Because
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I just said I haven't really.
No, I know. I'm just saying different. I mean, you've been in the game. I would be a hungry guy wanting to do it the first time and prove myself. I would think Trevor Bauer could help you. I would think that the guys learned a huge lesson, and sometimes in life, those are some of your best people because they know the mistakes they've made, they own it, and they know they don't have a second chance again, and they come out and they become not only a great on the field, but they become really good in the clubhouse.
Well, it's for the most part, it's a forgiving society,
right?
For the most part, So, yeah, I guess I am a little bit surprised, but again, I don't claim to know everything. I'm a little surprised that he hasn't caught on with somebody, but easy for me to say when I don't know everything.
True.
Ned, who's got the best facility in the big leagues as far as spring training? Do you know,
Well,
or that
I
you've
tell you what,
seen?
the Diamondbacks and the Rockies
Yeah,
over at Salt River,
it's
pretty
beautiful.
sweet.
I know.
Pretty
I
sweet.
went over there last year. I love the berm.
Cubs
I was
is
hanging out.
nice.
I was hanging
Cubs
out
is
in
nice
right
too.
center on the berm, having a couple beers, and man, what a great spot to watch a game.
It really is. You know, my favorite spot though was Scottsdale Stadium. Still is. You know,
Just I wish it had a bigger berm. The
yeah, but
Salt River has got a whole mountain there you can basically sit on.
the vibe is so cool.
Yeah,
It's I went to a game last spring.
the churro.
I went to I don't know how many there for a long time, probably 300 or 400. But the vibe of it was great. You know, had again going back to timing, which we talked about on your show, Larry. You know, when I got to LA, we were in Vero Beach, wonderful place, historic, like a museum, but 60 minutes to the quickest other team, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, one way to drive through Florida. You know, spring training to me is how you manage your time as much as anything. And spring training is when I really spent a lot of time in the minor leagues and with our players and with our staff. I couldn't do it. So the ownership said, "What do you think about moving to Arizona?" I said, "In a heartbeat." And so we did. And we made the deal out in Glendale, the White Sox.
Well,
That
good
was a
job,
huge
man.
deal. That was a huge historical
great.
thing to leave Vero
Oh,
Beach.
no doubt,
Huh?
no doubt. Had we waited one more year, and you can't predict the timing, we may have been at Salt River with the Diamondbacks.
Ooh,
Because that was about 12 months or 16 months when that started to percolate after we had agreed. And Glendale's great, and we designed it well, and we designed it different than the White Sox. White Sox have everybody in one building. We made it more campus-like, and so all the minor leaguers are down this path along this creek.
I love that place.
And it was an honor in my mind. It's an honor to be in the big leagues, and it's an honor to be in the big league clubhouse. So we're not all going to be in there at the same time until you've kind of earned your way in.
Mm.
But it's worked out great for everybody. But we had probably a chance to be at Salt River with the Diamondbacks if we had waited another year. But you don't know what you don't know. You
Yeah.
don't know it's going to open up. You don't know people are going to have a spot for you.
Well,
Ned,
Ned, I
what-
know you've got to
Oh.
run, but before you run, I want to put you quickly on the spot with a few predictions. Give us your National League winner, American League winner, World Series winner, and MVPs of each league, and Cy Youngs if you got it. Just the big
What?
awards.
What kind of a question is this?
I want to hear who he's got, and then
You want him to do a whole nother podcast in this question? In
That
this
should take
answer?
3
I'm
minutes.
not going to answer all of that, Danny. Much
Just
as I
give me
love
the league champs and your World Series champion.
You know what? I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to
Not
say
ready?
the LCS will be the Braves and the Dodgers.
Mm.
I believe that.
I think the Braves are just as good as the Dodgers.
Oh, if not better, yeah.
I think the Braves are really, really good. Not that the Dodgers aren't. I mean, you got
Right.
the two top. I think they're the best two teams in the game.
I do
American
too.
League, I wouldn't be surprised if it came out of the AL West again.
Hmm.
I think it depends where, if the Yankees add Blake, maybe makes them a little bit better.
Right. Oh, that would be dangerous with Rodon, Snell, and
Garrett.
Cortez.
the
Garrett
best
Cole.
pitcher, Cole. I couldn't think of his
Cole.
last name for a second. Cole, yeah.
Yeah.
Best pitcher, yeah.
So I think, but I wouldn't be surprised Texas comes back and Houston comes back.
With Hader, they got
Don't sleep on
Hader's
the Orioles. I'm going Orioles Dodgers.
They
Oh,
could be.
what was that? 1966?
1966.
66.
4-game sweep.
I'll take the best team in the Grapefruit League right now against the best team in the Cactus League.
Is that the Orioles and the Grapefruit?
Right
Yeah.
now. Orioles are
Orioles have
5-1.
been good for a
Dodgers are
while.
5-1. Orioles
Wow.
have some serious talent though. They really do.
Yes, they did.
Their
They've done very, very
problem
well.
might be pitching though. They need to add another. They might add. I'm surprised because they got new ownership. I'm surprised they're not going after Who's
Well,
that
they don't have
pitcher, Eric?
ownership quite yet,
Who's the pitcher that got hurt?
Bradish.
Bradish. Yeah.
but they got also they made the best trade of the winter.
They
With
did.
Burns. Yeah,
Yep.
Corbin Burns. Yeah, that's what I say.
Getting
One more
Burns.
pitcher.
Huge.
Ned, I know we got to jump, but or no, you got to jump, but Joey Bart, second pick in the draft. Sabes made the pick. Now they got Bailey. Looks like Bart's probably going to be just insurance. But man, this would be a guy that I'd be very nervous about trading if I was Farhan. This guy's got huge bat speed, tons of power. He can catch and throw. What do you think? Is he going to? You think? Would you be interested? Are you a believer in Joey Bart? If it was going to happen, would it have already happened? Where do you sit on Joey Bart? What do you think he's going to fetch?
I think whenever you make that decision, you have to have run every diagnostic you can to be sure of your decision. And I think sometimes you'll see, and I'll liken it to a major league free agent that signs a big deal. Jason Hayward signs his big deal with the Cubs. Never really lives up to it.
Mhm.
Gave a great clubhouse speech during a rain delay in Game 7 of the World Series. That's what he's known for. Goes to LA after getting released. They're paying him the minimum. Suddenly, not the same player he was when he left St. Louis, Atlanta. You know, that Jason Hayward, but great addition for that club. I liken it to Joey Bart in this way. Joey Bart, as you opened the segment, second round pick.
Second pick overall.
Second pick. Yeah. Huge expectation. Going to replace a Hall of Fame catcher, leader, now part owner. One of the best in the history of the franchise. Suddenly, you have not only the expectation of performance, which you have every day, but you have more weight on your shoulders than you've ever had. Expectation is a heavy weight to carry around. I think the expectation on Joey Bart has waned. I don't think people see him the same way that they did 2, 3, 4 years ago. I can remember being on your show, Larry, when you first started doing this. And Joey Bart came up, I was on every 10 days or so. Joey Bart name came up all the time. Well, it don't come up quite as often. It took us over an hour to get to his name tonight. So I think you have to see how he reacts to the weight being lifted on the expectation. If he catches a couple times a week or, plays another position once in a while, DHs here and there, you may see the player you thought you were going to see when you drafted him. I think that is one of the things whenever I was in the chair next to Saves, Chicago days, my San Jose days, I always say, before we do something with somebody who we really, really believed in, to take them at such a high point, we better be sure. We better be sure, and we better make the environment as, well, I'll say that we're comfortable. That doesn't mean you take it easy, but as comfortable as you can make it for success. And I think that's one of the great jobs of leadership, is to make it everybody as comfortable as you can so that they are able to achieve their ultimate greatness, whatever that is. Mm-hmm. And I think that, to me, that chapter with Joey Bart hasn't been seen yet, but we may see it this year. And you may find that, you know what? He's maybe not an everyday guy, but he can do some things to help our club win games, because the expectation's been off the chart.
Oh, I know. One last one, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this one. This is the question that Larry Krueger asks, because this is where my mind goes, and I may be asking the right guy here, because I think you probably know something about this guy.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
The one thing I love about baseball is that you could have like this big signing. Or you could just sometimes clubs sign a guy, make a minor league trade, and it winds up being huge. And the Giants, I'm really disenchanted with the Giants 40-man and their roster in camp. I think their rotation's ridiculously thin, maybe one of the most thin rotations I've ever seen in February 28th. And I think their lineup is anemic, and I think they're really going to struggle. But I'll tell you, the one guy that is interesting to me, and he had another hit today, he's hitting 429 in camp in the early going, is Yusniel Diaz, who was from Cuba, who once upon a time was a hotshot Dodger prospect. Or was he an Oriole prospect? I forget. He went from the Dodgers to the Orioles, I believe. You know anything about Yusniel Diaz? He's now 27.
Yeah.
Giants got him on a minor league deal, and something tells me he's going to be able to contribute this year.
Well, again, depends on your definition of your expectation of contribute. Certainly worth a chance. Without a doubt, worth a chance. Long year, a lot of miles to go. And yes, you're right. He was traded in the Machado deal.
He was really highly thought of at
yeah.
one point.
There's no doubt. But again, it's prospects are minor league players. They're not big league players. And again, it makes the world go around talking about them. But to play in the big leagues in any sport, to play for your 49ers or the Warriors or the Giants or the Sharks or whoever, you got to be really good. The A's, you got to be really good. And it's not a once a week thing. It's not, I'm going to be good on Tuesdays and Thursdays and be a minor league player Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, it's every day, pretty much every day. And that's a massive separator. So chance, absolutely. Patient with them, absolutely. Every opportunity, absolutely. No downside to it. And maybe upside. But as the old saying goes, time will tell.
We'll let you go, Ned. Have a great night, man.
Good to be with you guys again.
Yeah, hey, I'll leave you with this prediction, Ned. The
You gonna run
Dodgers
through all the awards for me?
No, the Dodgers franchise has never had a 50 home run hitter in a season. The 49's a record. Sean Green, 2001. I say Ohtani, with no pitching this year, just focusing on hitting, hits 55 or more this year.
He could.
I would never doubt anything involved with this person and player. Magnificent.
Yeah, I think he shattered.
Come on, I'd much rather have Jung-Hoo Lee. Ned, I don't want Ohtani. We have Lee. Who's this?
You're tough, Lee.
Who's this Ohtani guy you speak of? I only know JHL. All right. That's our guy. All right, Ned. Good stuff, man. We'll talk to you.
All right. Look forward
Thanks,
to seeing
Ned.
you.
All right.
Nice paneling, Larry. I haven't seen you since you got to paneling in the office.
See, seriously.
Yeah.
I like. Are those signed balls in the background, by the way?
No, that's just a mural.
Oh, it is. Okay.
No. Of course, those are signed baseballs.
What's your favorite?
That's tough.
I don't know.
What's the one that stands out to you that people would just go?
You got Koufax in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Probably
Mays.
Probably.
Yeah. You got an Ernie Banks? You got an Ernie Banks in there?
Probably.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Oh,
we should do that some night. We should let's guess.
Yeah, guess all the
guess the most prestigious baseball that Ned has in the background there.
It's probably a lot easier than going through all Danny's awards for the 2024 season off the top of my head.
You got Sinatra. Yeah. You got Sinatra on a ball back there?
I might.
I bet you there's a Frankie Robinson in there. Yeah.
I might.
Jackie Robinson? Is that what you said?
I bet.
No, I would say no.
I think so.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Ned. We'll talk to you.
Buddy, I'll tell you a quick story.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I had a great, turned out to be a great friend. He's not with us anymore. I'm scouting our AA team in Chattanooga, and I'm sitting there by myself watching the game, and I feel this person kind of walking towards me to sit down next to me. Very Italian. And he has a New York, he's got a Brooklyn accent. And he says, "Are you Ned Colletti?" And I said, "Maybe." And he says, and I won't say his name, but he introduces himself. He says, "I'm from Brooklyn. I live here now." And I'm thinking witness protection, probably, No, his son was, and grandkids were living there. So him and his wife moved down there. And he had this great collection of Dodger stuff. And before he died, he gave me a ball that Jackie had signed for him.
Wow.
Wow.
So I do have that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
I had Don
Seriously.
Newcomb's first contract. I have a ball that Jackie signed, and
That is
a
awesome. Wow.
couple other things here.
I'll tell you, you know what? You know what was
Picture on the wall of Willie Mays making his catch in the '54 World Series.
Oh, Vic Wertz.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
Vic
tell you
Wertz.
what, sometimes you get like a chance to do something special. Special as far as, baseball or athletes or whatever. One of the things I got to do special was I got to go host an event when HBO did the shot heard around the world
Yes.
on the 51 thing.
Ooh,
And I got a
that's awesome.
chance to sit there and talk ball for like a half hour with Bobby Thompson
Oh gosh.
and Ralph Branca
Oh
in the
gosh.
same room
Oh goodness.
before this thing. And these guys were friends and went on the banquet circuit together. And Ralph Branca is like one of the greatest people of all time. The way he accepted his losing in that moment, and the way these guys played off of one another in the class of Bobby Thompson and the class of Ralph Branca, and just all these they came to town for this HBO event, and it was the world premiere was here at the Mercantile Exchange, and they had a party. And I went from Cambiar, and they're like, "Yeah, you can interview these guys." So I interviewed both of them together before we had the viewing of this movie. And looking back on that, I'm like, "Oh my freaking God, that's unfreaking believable."
That's awesome.
That I had Branca and Bobby
Oh,
Thompson
yeah.
right there.
Oh
An amazing. And if anybody has ever seen it, go on HBO and watch The Shot Heard Around the World. It is.
Yeah, it's good.
Just HBO does great. I think his name's Ross Greenberg. I don't know if you ever met Ross Greenberg,
Yeah.
Ned, through the years. Great HBO sports executive, really a genius in this field. And he put that thing together, and it was spectacular.
They did a
love
great
that.
job on Willie Mays too. Fantastic.
Yes,
Yeah, the
I
one
saw
on
that
Mays was
Willie
really good.
Is the Barry one coming out?
I
Ooh,
believe
yeah.
so.
Yeah, they just finished that up like a few months ago, right? Yeah, should be coming out soon.
I'll tell you when the NBC Sports Bay Area always plays the Mays Giants legend thing, and it's just listening to who's the umpire who was the umpire who signed whose dad signed
Eddie Montague.
Eddie
Montague.
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 Eddie Montague's dad, right?
Yep.
Signed
Great
Willie
man.
Mays.
Yep.
And to hear him talk about what he saw, he's like, "Oh yeah, the young kid has got great arms, great arm talent, unbelievable speed." I mean, could you imagine being the scout that saw Willie Mays? It's like, come on, dude, this is unbelievable. And just to hear him talk about it, it's amazing. It's really amazing. Willie
Great
Mays.
stuff.
Awesome.
Eddie
All right.
Montague. I don't like many umpires.
Much
Respect for Eddie Montague.
Eddie Montague's.
The Murph Hall of Fame thing in August.
I'm gonna. You give me a good idea for a show. I sat down once at a dinner table in Bakersfield with Doug Harvey at my table, and just some of the stories you get to hear from baseball. I'd love to get a retired umpire on here and just hear about some of the funniest stories.
Oh, Eddie Montague's still around. He's at the ballpark all the time. Yeah.
Oh,
I think he's good friends with Marty. I think Marty interviews him.
Oh, he's really good friends with Marty. Yeah.
I got to try and get that out. I would love to hear some old stories, just tossing guys out.
We'll do that, Danny. We'll do that. We'll get that going in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We'll do that.
Awesome. All right, Ned.
All right, Ned. Have a good
Have a
night,
safe,
man.
have a safe flight.
Yep.
We'll talk to you soon.
Flying east from LA tomorrow. See you guys later.
All right,
Safe
take care.
travels.
All right.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
All right, Ned Colletti, the great Ned Colletti, always a special treat. And thanks to Larry for setting that up tonight. And so now we've got then there were 3,
Then there were 3.
and then there were 2,
And then the conversation turned
and there were 2.
ugly. Oh, look at that.
I already knew that was coming.
Oh, look at that. Look at
That's
that.
a given. That's a given.
Danny, see, Danny's used to me treating him that way.
I learned it from Larry.
Exactly.
I
That's
learned
what
it from Larry,
exactly
man.
what
It
it
was
is.
like
Look at
it
that.
was always like, hey,
Yeah. That was a hell of a point you just made there, Dan. No. So what do you want to get into here, Danny, for the next half hour or so? We got a half hour or so.
I mean, we've been talking quite a bit about this team, and we ran a poll last night. We had one of our callers our chat members, as I was going on about the pitching staff and how bad it was. He told me to stop. He said, "Stop. You're this pitching staff's not that." I said, "You know what? First of all, don't tell me to stop when I'm talking on my own show. You can tell me my ideas are horrible. You could tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, but don't tell me to stop." So I put him
Giants fans are very sensitive.
Yeah. So
very sensitive.
I put him in a little 5-minute timeout. He came back and he said he was sorry. So, but we did a poll. We said, made me think, how confident are you in this Giants pitching staff? Very confident, somewhat confident, very confident, somewhat confident, or crapo or whatever. Caca. 67%, I think it was caca. People can see that this staff is, even before Beck and went down with injury, it was like they're still rookies, unproven. I don't understand. You say you want to win. You say you want to be a playoff team. Farhan says we want to be a playoff team every year. You got guys like Snell and Montgomery sitting on. Heck, if it were me and I was running the show, I'd sign both of them and forget Chapman. I don't need Chapman. I got Casey Schmidt. I got somebody that can field as well as him at third base. That costs.
But I don't understand why they're so bad in the outfield. Why do you have Yaz and Slater back? And why do you have them over Matos and Ramos?
Right.
I don't get it.
Why don't you? If you're a rebuilding team, why are Slater and Yaz on the team?
I guess the youth movement only means for the starting rotation, because I guess Farhan came in and said that, hey, we're doing
Well, you know what?
movement.
You're going to be getting shellacked, and your pitchers are not going to, it's just when you're getting beat bad, there's a morale, and then it's, your bullpen's going to get exhausted because guys are going to be, you're going to be going to the bullpen in the third, fourth inning of a lot of games.
And a lot of people, what I can't stand, I'm just not to interrupt you, Danny, but one of the things that really bothers me is as soon as you say, why don't you go get this guy or that guy, everybody makes it a referendum on spending money. Okay, they should be spending money because they bought the team for $100 million and it's worth almost $4 billion. And for that reason, they should be spending some more money. And they shouldn't have a lower payroll by $30 million than last year. But then beyond the money, forget the money. Even if you don't want Snell, even if you don't want Montgomery, there's 4 or 5 veteran pitchers that you probably should be signing just for depth. Even if you got $3 million pitchers. Are we the only people that see that they're woefully thin? And if you had just a little bit more starting pitching depth, I think your chances of finishing above 500 would go up dramatically. But they don't. It's like I'm not seeing the contingency plans on the rotation. It's like they had their plan. Where's the contingency plan if things don't go well, like right now, where you've got a couple guys hurt? I don't get that, and I'm not understanding why you were so eager to re-sign Yaz and Slater.
$8 million
When-
for Yaz and
4 for Slater.
Slater. That's $12 million. That's a
I mean,
couple
is
of pitchers.
Yaz Farhan's comfort animal? I mean, what are we talking about at this point? I mean, why do you have Yaz if you're a rebuilding team? Why would you have Yaz there when you're not going to contend to just take at bats away from Elliot Ramos and Luis Matos?
Right.
To what end? Why does that make sense on any level?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to contend, I mean, I don't understand all of it. I mean, Yaz he's a really good right fielder when he's out there, when he's available, but he hasn't hit well. He's been declining, and to me, this whole idea of I heard Bob Melvin say, talking about the young pitching and that they like their guys and that they like a lot of their non-roster guys. He says, in fact, when people call us, that's what the teams are all asking about, our young pitching. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why don't you sign a couple of veterans that can be here for a few years? And if that's what if nobody wants anything else on your roster but your young pitching, now you can trade the young pitching because you've covered that hole with solid veterans. And now you can plug up some of your other holes, like, right field, left field. If you're not confident in Ramos being the guy, then go get somebody. Go get a Randy Arozarena from Tampa. Go get a young hitter like a guy. I mean, they're not going to give him up, Texas, but Evan Carter was a guy that came to my mind last year. Package a couple of your really young pitchers and go get Evan Carter. Get some guys that were going to be here for 8-10 years that you can sign. Milwaukee signed Jackson Chourio to what, 10-12-year contract. We see what the Braves have done with Acuna and Riley and Albies and their young guys. The Orioles are starting to do the same thing. That seems to be the new thing now, is lock these guys up through their arbitration years and into their early free agent years, and they're locked up to the Giants did it with Posey, and it worked great.
Mm-hmm.
They were, in fact, the Giants, Brian Sabian might have been one of the first guys to take that idea, because Posey signed in 2011, 12 for
the extension. Yeah. 5-year
10
extension.
years.
Was it a 10 year? Was it a 10 year?
It went through 21.
Well, maybe it was a 10.
Yeah. So why not find those guys and get those guys signed? Because it sounds like you're not going to be able to ever attract the star free agent, the so-called star free agent. I mean, we heard JT Martinez turned him down. Wants to play for a winner.
He's not signed, right?
No, he's not signed. Wants to play for a winner. Doesn't feel like Giants are set up to win. I don't know why. I mean, the Giants do a pretty good job of developing pitchers. They have done a horrible job of developing outfielders. They have not had one outfielder since Chili Davis, homegrown, make the All-Star team with the Giants. 40 years. He made it in 1984. It's the 40. Why don't we have one of those days at Oracle this year? 40-year anniversary.
Chili Davis?
Chili Davis, last Giant homegrown outfielder to make the All-Stars instead of Mickey Mouse night with the Dodgers. Jeez. I don't know. It's like, come on. I mean, 40 years? That's a long time. I mean, expansion teams get it right quicker than the Giants have done. Pitching has not been a problem. I mean, the championship clubs were all developed homegrown. The entire infield was homegrown. For some reason, have not been able to put together an outfielder that sticks. And I think Matos has the potential to become a possible all-star. And Ramos, who knows? We don't even know what Ramos can do. The guy hasn't been given one chance. I mean, 79 at bats mixed in here and there with call-ups for 3 or 4 games against the left-handed pitcher. And then he sits for 3 days because they're facing a righty. Then he gets in with a lefty, and then they send him down when they're done with him. Give this kid 300 at bats. You told him he had to conquer. Farhan said 2 years ago about the minor leaguers that were struggling. Well, we're not going to move guys until they conquer the level they're in. Well, Elliot Ramos hit over 300 last year in AAA and had the hardest ball hit rate of any Giant on the major league squad last year by hitting 2 of the hardest balls with the major leagues over 110 plus miles per hour. And yet they sat him and let him rot in the AAA while they're fading and basically not even in the race the last couple of weeks of the season. They don't even give Ramos a call-up. I don't get it. I don't
either. Even if you really do believe that you're in the middle of a youth movement, why wouldn't you kind of lean into it and see if you could find a couple more young players to go with the young players that you have? It's like, I'm looking around. It's like, what is the plan with Joey Bart? I mean, are you going to use him? Are you not going to use him? So
I think he gets traded, Larry. He's
and
out of
if you're in a
options.
youth movement, you couldn't find a young first baseman over Flores and Lamont Wade. To me, it's like if they're in the weirdest period in the history of the franchise. I mean, you got a young catcher, you got a young third baseman, you got a young shortstop, you've got a second baseman who is kind of in his prime, and then you've got Wilmer Flores coming off a career year, and Lamont Wade, a 30-year-old kind of in between player. I don't know how I would really describe Lamont Wade. I mean, he's a platoon type player, but he's not like a foundation piece. He's 30. He's not young. So it's like, what are you doing over at first? And then you're going Yaz and Conforto in the corners. That's bizarre. I like Hicks, but I like him as an 8th inning guy.
Right.
The only way this season is not going to be a tire fire is if Carson Wisenhunt, Mason Black, some of these young starters are like ready out of nowhere. Otherwise, it's a tire fire. If they get to opening day and Kyle Harrison and Carson Wisenhunt and Mason Black and, all these guys are like ready to roll, like, Smoltz, Glavine, and Avery or something, seriously, unless they're at that point, you're going to be so behind the 8 ball trying to pitch and just cobble together pitching that, and then they struggled to score 4 runs a game. I don't care about any of these 10-run outputs. Look who's doing it. It's guys that aren't even on the team.
Yeah, and it's spring training, and they're facing guys who are just getting their first outings in, and they're not stretched out or loose, and they're just, I mean, I've seen some long bombs off the first pitch because guys are just grooving, fastballs 91 right down the middle, saw Ahari Endaraza, I always can't pronounce his name.
Ray,
yeah, he hit a bomb the game I was at Monday, first pitch off of Black. He just smoked it. And,
Fitzgerald hit one out the other day, right?
Fitzgerald hit a grand slam. So did Bailey yesterday.
I mean, look at the Giants are giving up, though. They gave up 7 to the A's, 10 to the Mariners, 11 to the Angels, and 8 to the Cubs.
Whew.
Now, granted, it's spring training.
Yeah.
It's Arizona. But, I mean, they're giving up tons of runs. I don't know. It's not even about wins or losses. You guys all know that. I mean,
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend that the wins and losses mean anything. You could go 0 for the cactus. It doesn't really matter. But it's just look who they got. I mean, Howard, Jelly, Avila, Miller, Bivens, and Sinicola pitched today.
Yeah,
There's not one guy on there that's probably going to be on their staff.
Probably not. Yeah.
I
mean, the guy that's got to come through, and I mean, you see guys get hit hard. Jelly gave up quite a bit today. That's a guy that has to pitch well, because if he gets shellacked in spring training, that's a real bad sign. You might want to just get him off the 40. I mean, seriously, who would you rather have? If Jelly's not ready to pitch and can't get guys out in spring training, you might want to look at maybe DFAing him and re-signing him onto the minor league, so he's not on your 40, and promoting someone like Wisenhunt or Black onto the 40, because that's the time to move off of a guy at the end of spring training when teams are, making their moves. You can easily squeeze Jelly in through waivers, and then you've got him now as a non-roster guy.
Do you really need Jelly anyways? Honestly?
Probably not, but if you don't want to give up on him completely, no one's going to pick him up. And now you can promote Black or Wisenhunt, who's ever ready. And those guys are now a step away. If they're in AAA, call them up the next day and they're here ready to pitch.
What can they get for Bart?
I mean, again,
he's 2 for 2 the other day. He's hitting 667. He's got big power.
I like Joey. I'll tell you this, Larry. I told you this last year. I heard this last year. The Giants, Kapler did not like Bart, and I don't know if Farhan may feel the same way. They did not like Bart's swing, and they felt like it was, whatever adjustments he even tried to make, he still wasn't going to cut it. And when I heard that, I said, oh, wow, Sable's going to make this team, I think, and that was early on in camp last year. I do think Bart is going to feel a lot better just being around Bob Melvin than he was Gabe Kapler. Bob Melvin is a former catcher. He's a normal dude that knows how to communicate and makes you feel, there's respect there. He makes you feel like, you better do what's told, but he's also a good down-to-earth guy. Being around that club last year, and you've experienced it, it was like walking on eggshells around that whole clubhouse.
Oh, I thought it was a great vibe. Kapler. I know why you want to know why Mitch Haniger pulled his oblique here and not in Salt River. I know why you want to know. I know what you want to know. It's like, just shut up, dude.
Yeah, with Shea, that's
answer the questions. God, that guy was the most tiresome. What a tiresome individual he is, man.
That was so wild. Listening to that diatribe of like going back.
Because he's sitting there in his full matching Lululemon jumpsuit. I mean, just Kapler is just a piece of work. What's ridiculous is the Giants have number one revenue team in the big leagues last year, Yankees, 657. Number 2, Dodgers. 581. Number 3, Red Sox, 513. Number 4, Cubs, 451. Number 5, Giants, $421 million of revenue.
Where's it coming from? Dang.
$421 million of revenue.
Whew.
That's a lot of revenue, man.
That's a lot of revenue.
That's a lot of revenue. And then when you look at where they're at, I mean, it's so they're in such a weird spot. So they have an opening day payroll that's near the middle in the majors, slotting between the Angels and the Red Sox.
What, 12
yet
to
they're
14?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly.
I think the
Their
last time looked, they were
payroll,
14th.
yeah. Let's see, their payroll. Yeah, 20. Let's see. Oh, projected 2024 payroll. So the Giants' payroll is projected to be 13th in baseball at 167.3. So they're 13th in payroll, but they're top 5 in revenue. Why
Where's
do they
where's
have
that money going?
why are they 13th in payroll if they're top 5 in revenue? Why aren't they top 5 in payroll?
All they care about is Mission Rock and not what's going on in Oracle
Top
Park.
10 in payroll. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't
That's what it is.
doesn't seem
Real estate.
it just seems like not only do the Dodgers have more revenue and are running their team at a far greater level, minors, majors, what they're making internationally, how they're going about things. They're huge in Japan, I guarantee you right now, with Ohtani and Yamamoto.
Yep.
So the Dodgers have a $300 million payroll. And the Giants, number 2 in baseball. The Giants have a $167 million payroll, 13th in baseball. Dodgers are 2nd in revenue, and the Giants are 5th. So you could kind of claim that not only do the Dodgers make more revenue and have a more successful business, but that they want to win more. They're spending a higher percentage of their revenue. So, I mean, think about it. This is where you start the debate. This is where you start the competition. The Dodgers produce more revenue and spend a higher percentage of their revenue on player payroll. The Giants are 13th in payroll and top 5 in revenue. So it's one of those things where I don't get the feeling that the ownership is putting their best foot forward. I don't get what Farhan's doing. I really don't. He's the world's worst salesperson. If you didn't want to sign Ohtani and Yamamoto and those guys, that's fine. Most teams in baseball didn't. But why you would get your fan base into a lather? Oh, you know what? We're gonna. There is no stone that we will not own. We'll overturn every stone. There is no expenditure that's too big. We are prepared. We understand. We will not get outbid.
Yep. Exactly.
What is that? Why? Farhan has brought most of the heat that is on him. He's brought it on himself.
Exactly. Yep. 100%.
Yep.
Then just shut up. Don't say nothing.
It's not that. I mean, the idea that Farhan Zaidi is the smartest guy in the room is one of the biggest, most laughable things of all time. You literally have brought negative vibes from the fan base because you've talked a big game. If you didn't talk a big game, then you could, you wouldn't have expectations, but you have expectations because you talked so big.
And he just didn't do it once. He's done this numerous times. You'd think he would learn.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm looking pretty stupid saying this stuff out here. No, he doubles down every time.
Now, do we have a completely different? There's the payroll right there with the Cott salary right there. The Giants. By the way, who was it we were looking at? That was somebody said Robbie Ray's is not counted in there. I believe it is. Robbie Ray's right there at the top, 23 million.
Yep, that's what it shows.
I know he's on the.
And And not only is the
60
Giants
days, but
paying that, but they're also paying part of DeSclafani's contract, right?
yeah, a little bit, yeah. But do we feel different all of a sudden if the Giants sign Blake Snell and a Matt Chapman, as John Heyman is reporting that the chances they sign one of the two, maybe even
Ain't
both.
happening. If that happens, I'll be surprised. Honestly, I'd be surprised. I don't see it happening.
I mean, would that make the team? I think that would probably put the team in a position to compete for a wild card.
Better position. Yeah, I would say it's a better position for a wild card. I don't think it's guaranteed, but I think it's much better.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's as you said. I mean, we've talked about this a bunch of times, but you're blocking.
yeah,
You claim to be rebuilding, and now you're blocking your homegrown future Gold Glove third
Right.
baseman for a guy who hasn't hit over 250 in like 5 years.
right.
Yeah,
and
no,
by
and
the
you're-
way, for those
And I
of you,
like him, but I don't know if I like him more than giving those ABs to.
I was at Sunday's game. I was sitting
Right.
down the left field line. Casey Schmidt had a hard ground ball hit down the left field line. He backhanded it on his legs, on his knees, spun, got up so quick that he had time to take a couple of crow hops and throw an easy strike to first to get the guy out by 10 feet. He's so quick with his hands and his feet. Matt Williams said Casey Schmidt reminds him of himself. I mean, what do you want? I mean, why would you want Matt Chapman when you got a guy? Matt Chapman's going to be 31 years old. He
Hold on,
hasn't
I'll
hit.
be right back, Danny. I'll be right back.
Yeah, as Larry said, he hasn't hit 250 for 5 years.
Yep.
Casey Schmidt is 25 years old, roughly 24, 25. To look that up. But we're not saying that Casey Schmidt will hit as well as Matt Chapman in 24. He may, because Chapman's probably only going to hit you 240. If he's going to, hey, listen, guys, if Matt Chapman only hit 240 in Toronto in a hitter's park with the lineup that he had around him, what makes you think he's going to do better
Correct.
in Oracle with like half the lineup?
Yeah, I don't.
Compared to what Toronto had. So Schmidt hits in the low 200s. And Chapman hits 230.
What's going to put him over the top is if you get Snell. But the problem is, don't do a damn opt-out after 1 year. Keep him for at least 2 years, please. What's the point of just signing a guy for 1 year? That's the one I don't get, because what's going to happen? If you get him an opt-out after the first year, he's going to walk and probably go get another contract somewhere else because Farhan's not going to pay.
The only option.
So at least get 2 years, right? At least.
You're trying to make the playoffs year one, and you're hoping that you get something out of it. But
he's going to walk after that first year. You know he's going to. He's not going to opt in unless he gets injured.
You're right. It's not the greatest, but I do think, TN says Matt Chapman 117 OPS plus career wise. Yeah, I mean, he's hit well, but I think he's declining. And like I said,
but they're so devoid of major league talent across the board that it's like, in a way, it's like I would like to see them sign both those guys because they just need more major league talent. But to me, if Matt Chapman, if you had the equivalent of Matt Chapman, but he played left or right, I think that would be a far better get. Who's the best outfielder available right now?
Maybe Duvall. He can play center too. He's got some power. I mean, if you want power, I mean, he's not going to.
Do they have any? Is there any young outfielder they could trade for? What about, isn't Tommy Pham available?
Yeah, Pham's available. I also think, isn't Michael the guy that played for Washington National, Taylor? I think Michael Taylor's out there.
Did he sign? I can't remember.
I don't know if he's signed yet.
I mean, Tommy Pham is better than what they got right now. but
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know, they're in a weird predicament right now. I mean, that's
they
fine.
are. I mean, they are. I mean, I would much rather just see him go with, give me an outfield of Matos, Lee, and Ramos
Yes.
with Meckler being kind of the fourth outfielder that gets to play. That Meckler can hit. I mean, he didn't do well last year in the big leagues, but those at bats, believe it or not, going to help him adjust because he knows what he had to work on. And that guy's a pure hitter.
I'll tell you what I'd love to have. I'd love to see a little bit more speed and a little bit more pitching. So, like, give you an example. If you could get Jazz Chisholm in one of those Marlins, Edward Cabrera, one of those Marlins starters,
yeah.
I'd be willing to throw something with Bart into that deal.
Luzardo.
Yeah, Luzardo, or just Edward Cabrera, or any of the guys.
I put together a trade that actually worked, and it was
is a Rosarena available? Somebody says a Rosarena's available.
yeah.
I mean, why not go get him?
Yeah.
My God, that's the guy to go get. I mean, I'll tell you, the guy that I would try to go get is Luis Robert.
Yeah, he's
but
not,
I don't know.
I don't think they
I don't
have
know if
enough.
he's
They really don't even have enough to get him. When you look at the trade values, they'd have to give up Webb and
it's got to be some good major league free agent outfielder still available.
Let's take a look. See what is out there available. Pull up the unsigned free agents.
Yeah, I don't understand why there's not a battle for right field, though. I don't know why they gave it to Yaz right off the rip.
Isn't Eddie Rosario out there?
He signed. Who did he sign with? He just signed, wasn't it? Didn't Eddie Rosario just sign, Dan, earlier?
Who got
year?
Austin
I am
Meadows?
not
Who
sure.
signed Austin Meadows?
Um,
I'd be interested in Austin Meadows. Tommy Pham, Eddie Rosario, Austin Meadows. These guys are all available. Michael Taylor. God, there's not tons. Will Myers. Will Myers is out there. Tyler Naquin.
I'm just at the point where just play the young guys. Unless you're trying
Play the young
to,
guys.
if you're not going to sign pitching, just play the young guys because you're pitching. What good is
What's good's the lineup if you don't have the starting pitching?
Yeah. What good is it? What good is Soler?
Look what we got. We got what? Webb. Okay, solid. Number 2 is Hicks.
No, Harrison's 2.
Okay, Harrison 2. Maybe something there. We don't know. Hicks is an experiment. We don't know what to expect as a starter. We don't. I understand he's here as a starter, and I see there's people in the chat that say, "Hey, yeah, he might be a good starter." I still have my doubts. He's going to be excellent in the bullpen. I still have my doubts as a starter. But then you got Winenbeck, and we don't know what's going to happen with them with their health.
Who's Woodenbeck? I don't know who that guy is.
Winenbeck.
Oh,
Or Beck and Win. It could be Beck and Win or Winenbeck.
I like Beckenwin. He sounds like a good pitcher.
I don't like either of those guys that much, to be honest. I mean, I like Keaton Wins as a reliever, but not as a starter.
He's the one guy that if he's got a great splitter, and he's a guy that if he can get that ball, have command of that, he could be tough. But if he can't get it over like any guy with a split finger fastball, he's going to get rocked.
Yep. And like what Ron says there, they'll pitch around Soler. They're 100%. If they don't got someone behind Soler,
that is going to be.
He ain't going to be doing much.
Conforto has the potential coming back, having a full season, healthy, not having to rehab. If he can get off to a hot start, maybe they have a shot putting him behind Soler. But I think what's going to happen is guys like Conforto are going to have a decent year. And if the Giants are not in it at the trade deadline, you're going to have to move guys like Conforto. You might even have to move off of Soler.
I would move off. Yeah, why not?
I mean,
you get something for him.
Oh, you could get something for Soler at the deadline. If you're not in it, I would definitely be like, hey, let's get some players. But it's going to be a long season. I think we're going to have some games where the Giants, with this current pitching staff, lose. A good bet if you want to take the opposing team on the run line and bet them to win by more than 1 run. You'll win a lot of money, because I don't think the Giants are gonna. I think they're gonna lose a lot of games, 6-2, 8-2, 8-4. They'll win some games, of course. As they say, they're gonna win 50. They're gonna lose 50. Just about every team's gonna do that. What do you do with the other 62? So, I have a feeling the Giants will, of those other 62, will probably lose 35 of them.
What does Austin Meadows
or
have
45.
anxiety issues? Is that the deal?
Yeah, Meadows had some kind of,
something like that.
He's only
Yeah.
30 years old.
yeah.
So they probably got to make a creative trade somewhere along the line, but I mean, it's like you've got you've got a young team with Casey Schmidt and Marco Luciano and Patrick Bailey and Matos and Ramos and you got some young guys, and then all of a sudden it's like you've just got these kind of clogging veterans like Slater and it's like you've got Bart, but what are you going to do? Is he just your insurance policy? I feel like they could be able to turn Bart into. You telling me you can't turn a power hitting catcher who's a former second pick who throws the ball as well as he does in a sport that has this kind of lack of catching? You can't find an above average young outfielder that you can acquire for Joey Bart. Seems almost impossible. It seems like there's the teams that need catching. You're not going to get a Joey Bart type guy who's got bat speed and power and throws that well, and you can't find some team that has an extra left fielder, right fielder. It's really kind of amazing that they're leaning on this outfield again. I mean, their outfield was bad last year. They were really a bad offensive team last year. It's shocking that they would kind of run it back with. I mean, people are like, their lineup's way better. Is it? Let's take a look at their lineup way better. They had Luciano, they had Crawford. Everybody else is basically the same. You had Jung-Hoo Lee.
Lee and Soler are the only additions.
Lee and Soler, okay, but you lost Jock Peterson and who else? Who was the other guy that lost?
Haniger, Crawford. I mean,
do we know what Lee is? I mean,
not really.
It's
not really.
That's I just I don't know. I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like it's a slam dunk that they're better.
It's not a slam dunk. I would agree with that. It's not a slam dunk. Could there be some bright spots? Yeah, but I still think they're pitching around Soler. I don't think he's going to be doing as much damage as everyone. Because I thought with the Soler signing, I thought there was going to be something else coming up behind him. And
Northern Lights from Canada says Slater and Bart to Toronto. Wait for it. He's been listening up there in Canada. He's been hearing different things of conversations up there.
For what?
I don't know what what would be coming back.
It's got to be prospects. It can't be anyone on their major league roster with that.
Yeah, probably not. Ben Bamboo says, watch Haniger hit 40 home runs with Seattle. He could have a big year with Seattle. He's back to the club where he hit 39 and 21. If he stays healthy, I think if Haniger stays healthy, he hits 30 home runs up there in Seattle.
He's got some protection in that lineup. You got Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's got a few other guys. Yeah, I mean, Seattle. Think about Seattle. They lost by 2 games to Texas and Houston last year because they lost. They were in a playoff position, but they couldn't beat Houston or Texas down the stretch. And those are the 2 teams playing for the American League, championship, with obviously Texas winning it all. So Seattle was right there. They've got the pitching. They've got, their GM Jerry DiPoto is so much more savvy than Farhan. He just makes deals. He's got a really good pitching staff. He's got some young talent. He gets DeSclafani and he flips them to the Twins.
Yep.
Who did they get back from the Twins?
Polanco.
Polanco. Yeah. Look at that.
Who can hit? Guy can really hit.
I was wanting Polanco and the Giants, and DiPoto, he's just like, okay. He probably already had the deal, probably talked to the guy in Minnesota, said, hey, if I can if I can just like steal DeSclafani and get Farhan to pay for it.
And we're just going to give him a pitcher that just came off Tommy John. Yeah, Farhan to go for that.
If I can get that, will you give me Polanco? Sure, I'll do that, Jerry. So,
Senior says Slater, Bart, Luciano, Birdsong for Bichette. I would do that.
Well,
I would do that.
Toronto's not going to do that.
But Toronto, that's the problem.
Oh, Luciano. I didn't see. Yeah, Luciano.
Yeah, I would do that. Slater, Bart, Luciano, Birdsong for Bichette. I would do that.
I don't think Toronto would do that, but they might. They get Birdsong is.
I'm worried about Luciano, and I think while he's still somewhat high, get rid of him because I don't know what his health is going to.
I think Toronto would say throw in Wisenhunt instead of Birdsong, and you can have a deal. But yeah, it's going to be an
S show.
Yeah, it really is. I think they finish somewhere between 72 and 78 wins on the season. That's where I'm projecting. 72 to 78. Now, if everything goes right, this is what the Giants, everything has to go right for the Giants to somehow be a wild card team. And what that is Webb has to pitch great. Harrison has to pitch really good too. Stay healthy. You got to get production out of a third starter that is not Cobb or Ray, and then hope Cobb and Ray come back and pitch to their past performances. All those things have to go right. Then you have to stay pretty much fully healthy with your position guys. So Wade and Flores have to do something similar to what they did last year, which was a combined 40 home runs. Estrada's got to stay healthy. Luciano Fitzgerald, who's ever short, has to have production. Same at you basically have to have a similar year to what the guys did in 21 for the Giants to win 88 to 90 games. It's got to go so well. And we know the injuries are going to come. And when the injuries come, it's over. It's over.
All right. They're they're the paper thin team. I mean, it's literally they're pulling out of the driveway in a car that's got 2 bald tires, and they're beginning a cross country trip.
Right. Exactly. It's like we got 2 bald tires, and we just got to hope and pray that they just last. And
hey, look, we got no money. And we got bald tires. We're hoping to go cross country. I mean, it's just what? Come on.
And the car is a purple and pink Aspire, right?
And it's overloaded. It's got too much weight. It's got all the luggage on the top of the car in the back. It's gosh. Oh man. No, I am not at all optimistic about this team this year. I mean, it feels to me like the teams that I grew up with Fred Brining and you
Al
know,
Holland.
Ed Goodson. Oh, we got Ed Goodson. When you're, oh man, Ed Goodson could hit. Yeah, but have you seen it? Compared him to the rest of the league. When you only follow your team, and you think your team has got it because you're all as you've heard about. I mean, it's like we've been hearing about Wisenhunt and Luciano and Matos and Ramos and Harrison and Roop, and we hear about these guys and Von Brown and and yet none of them hardly ever pan out. I mean, Von Brown didn't even get a stinking invite this year. What
No,
the
he
heck?
didn't.
What
He
the
must
heck
be-
is that? The
He must
guy.
be down.
What are you thinking? They got. I mean, he's got more talent than probably anyone in the organization, and they don't invite him.
I think there's something going on with him. I don't think he's.
I heard
He's
he was
fallen out of
healthy, but I mean, 2 years ago,
They
Well,
have guys who just evaporate.
yeah, he was
Yep.
he was the guy like, oh, Von Brown, this is the guy that's ripping through the minors and
But he's an outfielder, right?
yeah, he's got speed. He's what they need. He's got speed and some power, and he's got and he hits for average. I don't understand.
Well, he wasn't
What
doing that
happened?
well in Richmond. It's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
he did. He had a rough year.
It was pretty bad. To be honest with you, Luciano was pretty bad, and he got called up. So don't ask me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, D-backs at 83.5 wins. Take the over on that, guys. That's money in the bank.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense.
I don't get
Over
that
what?
one.
What's the number?
83.5.
Yeah, I like that
That's
over too.
take that money. Giants 81.5. That's money in the bank. Take the under. Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers. I'm seeing the Giants right now, their first homestand coming home at no better than 2-5.
2-5. Yeah.
And it could be 1-6. I mean, it's possible. I mean, they go to San Diego for 4.
For 4 and in LA for 3.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they get out of LA with a win. I really don't. And they got to hope they win 2 out of 4 against San Diego. If yeah.
Due to injury, he's still hurt. He was hurt at the end of the season. That was back in October. I don't know. Something's going on with him.
That's weird. Yeah.
They're in a weird. This is a definitely a weird spot because this is one of the. It's weird. It's not that they didn't spend the money, because the money. I mean, that's bad, but what's way worse is that they clearly lack major league options in many spots of their roster.
Yeah.
The outfield, the corners, they're in a weird spot. It's like they didn't show any real interest in going after Rhys Hoskins, and here's the other thing too. It's like, is it possible that the Giants went after everybody and just got denied to a level that we have no idea?
And they decided to just go youth?
Well, just like, why aren't you going after this guy? Well, we did. Why don't you go after that guy? Well, we did. I mean, don't you think it's almost like they're at a point where maybe they don't want to. They did, instead of just not going after guys, they went after guys. They just didn't land anybody. They just don't want to admit it.
I thought about that.
Right? On the organization. That's an indictment on the organization. Then, if
Of course, no, I'm not absolving them of blame. I'm just saying that the narrative is that they just didn't want to go spend the money, or they just didn't want to go make the moves, or whatever. They just didn't. They didn't have the prospect, whatever. instead, isn't it possible they wanted all these guys and just couldn't get any of them?
Well, according to Kruko, he's guaranteed that the Giants would sign a superstar this offseason, that Farhan would get it
Or
done.
he'd quit. Is he
Yeah.
quitting?
Right.
Well, I guess, is he going to consider if they sign? He certainly can't say Chapman's a superstar.
Jung-Hoo Lee?
I mean,
Nope.
is it Snell? I mean, Cy Young, double Cy Young. I don't know, but here's what's interesting to me, because I had the same thought, Larry, about them trying to sign everybody and maybe not getting anybody. It's highly likely, because we know that in talking to different players and people, that players talk to one another. Players' wives want to know what it's like. Guys last year were treated, in my opinion, with such disrespect. Guys like Ross Stripling, Sean Manaea, who signed here to be starters and were relegated to the bullpen fairly quickly. Yeah, Stripling got off to a bad start and he gave up a lot of home runs, and you really couldn't count on him. But then they jerked him around. Manaea quickly got out of town. Players came here, experienced Kapler and Farhan. Guys like Stephen Piscotty, who I spoke with in spring training in clubhouse, I still have the interview, said, the hope was to make the club. But if he didn't make the club, he'd go down to Sacramento. And
I think Haniger got checked out. Remember that last series they had in Arizona? Didn't run out that fly ball.
Yeah,
you don't run out a fly ball. There's something going on.
But my thought was on this is, I talked to Piscotty. He said he would come down. He would if he didn't make the club, he'd work his way to the club. Hopefully, from AAA, and then Haniger gets put on the shelf to start the season. Who else started the season on the IL? There was two outfielders. Was it Slater?
Haniger was out in the.
Yeah, I mentioned Haniger. Was it Slater too? Somebody was out.
I think it was Slater.
There was two outfielders out.
It was Slater.
And Piscotty did not get put on the 26-man roster. And rather than take a AAA assignment, he said, please release me. I think he saw what I'm trying to make the point is, the Giants and Farhan especially treats players like fantasy football property. There's no value in, these guys get picked up, they're put on the 40, they move their way over to San Francisco, and 2 weeks later they're dropped off the 40 and they're moving on to somewhere else. I think Farhan has a reputation in the game with players that you don't want to go to San Francisco, because whatever they tell you is not going to happen. And that's just my gut. I think players got disgusted. We heard Ross Stripling in the clubhouse last year say, being told he was being injured, and he says, really? That's news to me. We heard guys rip Kapler. And, there was just a lot of guys that were just not happy. And I got to believe that hurt them this offseason in trying to land the players they hoped to land. Now, that being said, they still could end up with Chapman or Snell, or possibly both. I don't think if you sign Chapman, to me, doesn't move the needle hardly at all. Hardly at all. You need starting pitching. Why would you put 18 to 20 million a year into Matt Chapman when you don't have any pitching? Makes zero sense to me. And they're $30 million, Larry. They're $30 million under where they were last year at this time. And guess what? Each major league team was given $30 million last year. So the Giants basically didn't get that
Pocketed.
$30 million from baseball this year, and they're just not going to. Looks like they're not spending it.
Wow.
So I don't know, but
It's not a good look.
not when your arch rival is spending twice as much money as you are.
Yeah.
I mean, the question I asked the other night, if the roles were reversed and the Giants landed Yamamoto and Ohtani, and the free agents that are out there right now are sitting out there, and the Dodgers would the Dodgers just sit there idly and do nothing? I don't think so.
How about okay, first of all, I don't know that I've heard anybody who covers this team on a regular basis ask the basic question. It was claimed that the Giants had matched the Dodgers offer of $700 million
right.
with 98% of it deferred. Well, we know the Dodgers went and spent that deferred money on Yamamoto. So if the Giants were going to match the deal, why didn't they turn around and they had $700 million dollars to spend on Ohtani,
Right.
didn't get him, but then they were going to defer it all to sign other guys, but they didn't sign other guys. Really, I mean, they signed a couple of guys, but I mean, nothing close to the reason that you would defer that kind of money.
Larry, they could have got all four of Boris's free agents for $700 million or less. They could have signed Snell and Montgomery, Chapman and Bellinger to all deals. Even if you gave you could have given Snell 180. You could have given Montgomery 150. That's 330. You could have given Chapman 100. That's 430. And you could have given Bellinger 200. That's $630 million. And you could have had all four of those guys signed. So I'm not saying that's a great thing to do, but the fact is they didn't pivot at all after Ohtani, which makes me think that was just window dressing. I don't think they were in on Ohtani at all.
Nope.
I think that was just
smoke and mirrors.
Because if you really said you were going to spend $700 million, which by the way was not enough to Ohtani, because Ohtani said, "I'm taking deferred money so you can add and go get a Yamamoto.
Get more."
So you were going to have to spend $1 billion if you were the Giants this year, if you were going to get Ohtani, $1 billion, and you've spent less than $300 million, and 113 of it went to Jung-Hoo Lee, 44 went to Hicks, and 42 went to Soler. So there's 113 and 44. What is that? What is that? 157. And then what was the other 42 to Soler? So you're sitting at right there at 200 million, right? Yeah, there's your 200 million. The three guys, isn't that all they signed? And Murphy for $8 million. They spent not even 300 million. They spent 200 million, and they were going to go spend $1 billion. You were going to spend $1 billion on Yamamoto and Ohtani.
They weren't.
But I don't. Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just that this is why they really can't be taken very seriously right now, because nobody really believes a lot of these stories. It's like, were you looking for these? It's like there's a way to, the other thing, there's a way to make offers and not have them be accepted. And I just feel like Farhan's mastered that. He understands how to kind of just be in the deal flow, and what's going to get it done. and then you just don't in the 11th hour do what's going to get it done, or you send a message that's like, And the other thing is that I get the feeling that like there's no real commitment from the Giants, so nobody wants to dangle as the only guy. It's like nobody wants to be blamed for the season. Like, think about it this way. If the Giants wanted Matt Chapman, and Chapman supposedly talked to Melvin at the winter meetings. So that was in December. We're almost in March. So do they want him? Do they not? I mean, it's this bizarre messaging and this kind of like, we want you, but only at our price. We're going to block prospects if we want, but we may not. It's just, there's no, like, it doesn't feel like there is a real plan. It just feels like they're just kind of winging it. They're just kind of winging it. And are they going to get this guy? I don't know. Are they? Do they want him? I don't know. It's like there's no conviction. I've never felt more kind of like ambivalent about the Giants. It's just it just doesn't feel like there's no, like, Sabian wanted to win. Colletti wanted to win.
Right.
Those guys wanted to win.
Yeah.
Farhan puts out vibes like
what does he need to win though for, Larry? He's got a 3-year contract and he's like got a cush job. He's got the 3 years. He's smart enough. If he gets out of baseball, he can go be, he's got an Ivy League education. Now he's got this great resume as, 6 to 8 years as a president of baseball ops. He could go with some big major company and run their company. He's set. He doesn't care.
But he's not winning anything.
But, it's just, Farhan reminds me of the guy when he talks about signing contracts, like you said, Larry, he has a way of making it look like he was trying to get the guy, but without getting him. Reminds me of when I used to take tests in high school. Reading and like, oh, here comes a teacher. Oh, okay, she's gone. All right, just daydream. Oh, better look like I'm doing the work. It's like, I mean,
bad, man. It's bad.
This
bad. And it's like, the thing that kills me, I get these people who are like, they're going to win this year. And it's like, wait a second. I don't want to wager with every single person, but they're going to win this year. And it's like, okay, you know what? The thing about it is, I'm thinking about that. And I'm thinking, well, they may win this year, but if they are going to win this year, they're going to do it with players that aren't on their roster right now. You know what I mean? Like they may make some incredible trade, Rainier Arias and 6 of their prospects all for somebody really good and go to the playoffs. But they're not going to the playoffs on the roster that I'm looking at right now. Correct. They're not going to the playoffs with this thin of a pitching staff. You're not going to the playoffs with this kind of questionable I don't know. It's a very weird vibe. I'm rooting for Luciano. I'm rooting for, for Casey Schmidt.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Ramos. I'm rooting for Matos.
Harrison. Yeah.
Harrison, Wisenhunt, if he gets up there.
Yeah. All the young guys.
The only way they're going to win is if they play their young guys and their young guys all play well. That's the only way they're going to win.
Look what Cincinnati did last year.
They will not win with Slater. They will not win with Yaz. They will not win with, middling garbage. They're going to have to put their young players out there, and those guys are going to have to go like 5 for 5. As far as they're going to have to go 5 for 5 on those guys all playing well. If they do, then maybe they'll go to the playoffs. But like these Giants fans that are like, they're going to the playoffs. Like some guy said today, I said, I just was kind of screwing with people. And so I decided to put out, the Giants are the only team that has not won a game. In the Cactus,
Oh, I saw that.
right?
I saw it.
Okay. And it's just, a little statement of fact and just trying to nudge people. And I'm just bored by, this, I almost want to bring on these like people who are just, the hardest of hardcore Giants fans. And this one guy sent me the most.
Oh, try being a fan or something.
No, he sent me the most childish response. And it was like, well, you can't celebrate when they make the playoffs then. And I'm like, first of all, like, who the hell are you to tell me what I can do or can't
celebrate.
do? Because I said they don't have any wins on February 28th, that I can't celebrate if they if they go to the playoffs. And then, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's so that's why. And why do you care? Why do you care if I celebrate or not? It's just the most ridiculous thing. And it's just like this, you're not rooting for, the negativity is killing me. It's like, I'm not negative. I'm not being negative. I'm positive they're going to suck. That's not being negative. That's being positive. I'm positive that they're going to be awful. But I mean, it's a point of view. And it's like, do you need everybody to be like in February and March to be, let's go Giants? I mean, come on. You can't have one person in your world who's like, you know what? I kind of think they stink. I don't think they're going to be any good. And it's like, and then what? I can't enjoy them being good if I predict they're not going to be good. And it's like, and then it gets back to, once again, if the Giants are going to be a good team, a playoff team, they're going to have players that they don't have now. So I won't say it's an impossibility, but I will say without moves, it's an impossibility.
Right.
Like their rotation is too thin. Their offense is too lame.
Those
two things.
Rotation.
Right. Exactly. We have more people sitting here on this live stream than they have a rotation. Danny can play Harrison. You can play, Logan Webb. I'll be Hicks. That's it. We're the row.
That's it.
There's nothing else. They got nothing else. So it's like it's a weird thing, and it's like I guess people would be like, well, you're rooting for them to be bad so you can be right. No, I'm not.
Gosh.
You don't get it. I don't care if I'm wrong.
Right.
My channel doesn't exist whether I'm right or wrong. I just am gonna be. And why would you want anybody to talk about your team that wasn't giving you what their honest opinion was? Why give an opinion at all if you can't give an honest opinion? And it's like, I don't surround myself or want to surround myself with a bunch of yes men. I want people to tell me the truth as they see it. And I can live with who agrees and who doesn't agree. But this idea that, the Giants are going to the playoffs as is, it's like, dude, what? There's no chance in hell. No chance in hell. Now, I won't wager on it because they could sign Austin Meadows and he could hit 30 home runs and they could make a good trade. And then my point is, I'll say it when they do. If they make good moves along the way that I like,
yep, exactly.
I'll say they were good moves and I really like them.
Yeah, I was happy with this.
I'm not going to sit here in February and tell you that a team that looks bad, I'm going to lie to you and tell you, yeah, I think it looks good. I think they look good.
Yeah.
In this kind of loserdom dimension of let's just cheer against the Dodgers, that's embarrassing, man. That's like acting like you're not on their level. You are on their level. You're as iconic a franchise as they are. You're
Correct.
Nearly as rich a franchise as they are.
Yes.
You've won roughly as many titles as they have.
I
You
think
shouldn't
one
be in
more.
this
Eight,
mode, right?
to
You
7.
don't need to be in this mode of, we suck, but we'll laugh at their demise and we'll
Mhm.
cheer for them to suck. Dude, that's loser talk. I mean, I can't, that to me is like more depressing than just being bad, is like rooting against them. Like somehow, like it's going to be okay as long as they don't win. They're putting together a really exciting, entertaining team.
They are.
Why can't you do the same instead of celebrating their failure? Go sign your own Yamamoto. Go get your own Ohtani.
How
make-
about trading for Corbin Burns instead of what the Baltimore, Milwaukee didn't get that much in the package that the Giants couldn't have given up.
I know it's weird.
Mhm.
I almost feel like the Farhan regime seems like they're balancing they're balancing their moves with like, what will this move mean to our expectations? It's like, it's weird. It's like, are you worried about the expectations? Are you just trying to build the best team? And like, I like Bob Melvin, but Bob Melvin, why would you come here to manage a team that looks like this? I mean, it's just, were you that desperate for a gig that you had to manage? It's like, I would only want to manage a team that I thought was going to be good. And this Giants, we're building, we're not building, we're making moves, but we're not making moves. We're adding the biggest expenditure is a player who, we're not going to take any risks, but then we're going to throw $113 million at a KBO player and take like the ultimate risk. I mean, it's the Giants are, I don't understand them. I don't get them. I would normally think I'm the dumb one, but then since they're shitty, it's probably not me. It's probably them. The one thing that I can't picture here is that, how do you keep pretending you're the smartest guy in the room if you're Farhan Zaidi? Like, you picked up like 7 guys in the offseason. One of them was TJ Hopkins. You've already gotten rid of him.
Yeah.
He's
You
already
already
gone.
DFA'd him. So it's like, and then it's like, we're not moving deck chairs around on the Titanic. You picked up TJ Hopkins, and then DFA'd him like 3 weeks later. I mean, and you've done that kind of move about 5 times. How many times have the Giants picked up a player only to DFA them? It just reeks of shuffling paper across your desk. It just, it doesn't send a message of like everybody you acquire is here now, but doesn't mean they'll be here tomorrow. They won't. They're here now, but will they be here later? You know what I mean? So it's just they've got a weird vibe. I would believe in him if we weren't so far down this road. Isn't this year 6?
It is
Year 6.
Yeah.
Year 6, and you're
Exactly.
still picking up TJ Hopkinses
Larry,
and DFAing them in 10 days and 2 months later, and it's like, what? Why? What are you doing? Why you talked in September how you needed a new outfield, but you brought back Yaz and Slater?
Right.
Why? Because you were afraid that you couldn't do better in the free agent market or in the trade market than Mike Yastrzemski and Austin Slater? Really? I mean, it's to say it's baffling doesn't speak to it. It's like the biggest nothing burger to me. Farhan Zaidi is the cotton candy equivalent of Major League Baseball GMs. If you just pour a little bit of water on there, it all just kind of evaporates. He's not. What's he built? Okay, let's just talk about that for a second. What is he
Perfect
built?
example. Larry, 2019, the first year he was the president of baseball operations. Is that team any better than what it is here in 2024?
They're 500 or
worse,
sub
dude.
500 most of the time. They had that 1 year where they were crazy. They were on 107 and 55. Other than that, it's just,
He's got
500 or
one
below.
winning season in 5.
one winning season. But then, like, what are you building? Like,
Right.
what are you building in the infield? You've got Tyro. Do you believe in Luciano? Do you not? Do you believe in Schmidt? Do you not? Do you believe in Bailey? Do you not? And then what are you doing in your outfield? That's the best outfield you could put together in an off season. The best outfield includes Yaz and Slater, really, and a guy from the KBO. That's the best outfield.
In Conforto, yeah, it's pretty
That's
amazing.
the best outfield you could put together. The rotation you've put together. You've got a live armed reliever and a cup and a former lefty who might be healthy in June. And I mean, it's like,
Ray
what?
won't be able till after the All-Star game, I don't think.
Yeah, July, okay, maybe August.
Right.
I mean, it's just it's such a weird. And it's like I'm so glad that I don't have to like front this.
Oh,
You know, I mean,
yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have a kind of job where I got to be like, hey, man, they got a real shot, they got a real this, and they got because it's so not real.
I really think what they're doing is I don't know how much comes off the books next year. I have to look at it again. Somebody said about 100 million. I think they're playing for 25. I think they're.
It's just,
I think they're just.
He might not even be here in 25.
Yeah, I don't see how this. There's still time. It's March 1st tomorrow, and he can sign a pitcher. He could sign Snell or Montgomery. It changes it a little bit, makes them, a possible threat if you have the pitching with Webb and Snell, and then Harrison comes through and Cobb comes back healthy, and then Ray, you have a pretty decent rotation. And then that moves Hicks to the bullpen. It makes your bullpen much stronger with the Rogers brothers and Walker and Hicks and Duvall. Makes it pretty, but that's a huge if. And then they need, again, like you mentioned, Larry, they need to hit on those younger guys. They all have to hit to be able, they have to be successful. Cincinnati, we saw last year, played a ton of young guys, almost got into the playoffs, the wild card. But how much better is Cincinnati going to be this year because they played those guys?
Mm-hmm.
And those guys have the experience. The Giants have had 1 to 2 years, the last 2 years, to experiment in the second half. And Farhan thinks he's got a playoff team, and yet he makes no trades at the deadline except A.J. Pollock when they were the number 1 wild card at the trade deadline. So that tells me he has no ability to forecast or vision and see what kind of team he has, because he obviously thought he had the horses to get to the finish line, and all he added was A.J. Pollock, while Arizona goes and gets Tommy Pham, and they get the closer, Paul Sewald, and they added the third baseman from the Brewers that played. Can't remember his name, but they added 4 players, Arizona, and it paid off, and it got into the World Series. I don't understand.
Someone says we got to get Farhan on this show. I wouldn't want him on this show. I wouldn't want to ask him questions because it's like my first question would be like, hey, Farhan, what the fuck?
That's it.
I mean, it's like, what the fuck? And then, I mean, seriously, I mean, that would be the first question. The second question would be like, where do you think you're going to work next? Because I mean, it's like, what's the plan? What's your life plan? Are you getting out of baseball? It seems like he must be getting out of baseball. The what the fuck question, and then the are you getting out of baseball? I mean, do you think you could be like Paul DePodesta and maybe like be like in a football organization in a couple of years? Or I could see you getting out of baseball altogether. What do you think, Farhan? I would love to. It's like there's no doubt that he's smarter than us, but there's no doubt we're smarter than him.
Oh man, you gotta put these. You gotta put this in your shop.
Make
There's
that
some
into a
shirts
short
there.
right there. Make that into a short right
Farhan Zaidi, there's no doubt he's smarter than us, but after watching him run this team, there's no doubt we're smarter than him. Johnny's like, I like the what the fuck Farhan t-shirt.
Oh, that's gotta be a shirt.
there.
That's gotta be a shirt.
A shirt. There we go. Put his big head on there.
Put his big head.
Or how about Kyle McKiernan says Larry with the mosaic? How about this? You know, hey, Farhan, I was talking to Marty. He says the mosaic's fucking broken. Did you break Marty's mosaic?
Did you break Marty's mosaic? Man.
I mean, seriously.
It would be classic if Marty actually dropped an F-bomb. Like,
you know,
could you imagine? Oh man.
You know, it would be a great job for Farhan. I could just picture him.
Are you experimenting with the 3-man rotation?
You know,
I mean,
Farhan
what is he doing? What is he doing?
You know, I got a great job for Farhan. Remember Jen Psaki? Well, you know, let me circle back to you on that.
Yeah, can we circle back?
And Farhan is like, that's a great question. Let me circle back to you on that. You know, we're thinking about that, but we're really not sure exactly what we're going to do.
How about this one? Hey, Farhan, have you at least won in fantasy ever? Because you don't win in baseball. Do you win in fantasy? You know,
man.
I mean, it's just like it's bad. It's really, really bad. I wouldn't want to interview him because at this point it's like, do you realize that this is entertainment and you've presided over the biggest drop in Giants season tickets in the history of the franchise?
Yeah. Right.
It's supposed to be entertainment. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
The fan interest.
Farhan, how are you related to Yaz?
How are you related to Yaz?
How are you related to Yaz? I know you guys must be, distant relatives, right?
Or does he have any pictures of you, Farhan? Oh,
unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, it's just it's bad. It's bad. It's like you're sitting there, Giants baseball. Maybe maybe that should be it. Giants baseball 2024. It's bad. It's bad. I'd buy that shirt.
Did you know they ran back their slogan from last year?
Which was what?
Nothing like it. They ran it back.
Nothing like it? You go with nothing like it twice?
Yeah. Yes.
How do you go with nothing like it twice?
They didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay for a new advertising campaign.
The second year, by fucking definition, is a goddamn lie. If last year there was nothing like it, this year it can't be. There's nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
You can't have that slogan 2 years in a row. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, they ran it back. I couldn't believe it.
Right there on top.
Where is it?
Right at the top.
Nothing like it. Oh, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. How about this? Change it from nothing like it to nothing to like.
You don't even have to.
There you go.
You don't even
nothing
have
to like. Last year was nothing like it. This year, nothing to like.
You only have to take. You only need an I in the stitching for take the
Yeah,
O out.
I think nothing to like is that would be good.
Nothing to
Oh
San Francisco
man.
Giants baseball, nothing to like. I like that. I am going to use that in a tweet or two. Oh my goodness.
Nothing like it again. I mean, is there anything weaker than that? Nothing like it again.
That's
Yeah. It's almost like they fired the
I think the slogan this year should have been, "Hey, we suck, but Kapler's gone."
There you go.
Right? We're not going to win shit, but at least we don't have hand tattoo here.
And his twin.
Oh gosh.
And at least he's not. At least we're not being judged by some asshole with a hand tattoo. Giants baseball. At least that asshole is gone.
Oh,
These are all really burgeoning T-shirts. We could sell so many of these T-shirts if you really think about it.
Oh, we could. Yeah, we should.
Oh, we could.
Be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I like that. Giants baseball. San Francisco Giants baseball. Nothing to like.
Nothing to like here.
Love it.
Mark Graves, Larry, are you here all week? LOL. How about this? How about something that kind of sums up the emotion of the thing? Giants baseball 2024. Fuck.
You got to get the deflection perfect. That's awesome. That's perfect.
Giants baseball 2024. You can't buy these tickets, but you can't sell them either.
Oh man. Woo! That is great.
Yeah. This
I
question.
mean, I tuned into KMBR today. Kerry Crowley is ripping you.
Yeah. Right.
When Crowell is on the prowl, you're done.
Yeah. He was getting on them last weekend too. I was
Crowell
like, wow.
was chewing on him.
Hey, Willard got on him today.
Willard. Seriously, Giants baseball 2024. When Willard goes negative, you're really done.
Yeah, he was not happy that the pitching staff.
Let's throw Danny some super chats on the best slogan of the year. Cliff Martinez says Larry the comedy guy.
Larry the comedy guy.
There we go. Larry
Thanks,
the comedy guy.
Thank
and
you,
then we
Cliff.
got this question for you. He's got the figures wrong, but it's 113. But Larry, how do you feel about the fact Farhan spent 113 million on Lee when Bellinger only cost 80 million?
Yeah. Oh my God. Ridiculous. Oh my God. Yeah.
You probably could have got Lee for like 60.
You're paying Lee what the Astros are paying Yordan Alvarez. You're paying Lee what the Diamondbacks are paying Corbin Carroll. You should call up the Diamondbacks and see if they would trade you Corbin Carroll for Jung-Ho Lee.
Unbelievable.
I heard somebody who was talking about the Giants the other day. And they're like, "Yeah, I can't wait to see Ho. His name is Jung-Ho Lee. There's no Ho in Jung-Ho Lee." I mean, seriously. I mean, I can't. I'm a huge fan, guys. A first-time caller, long-time listener. I'm just fired up to see Ho. His name is Jung-Ho Lee. There is no Ho. I I mean, it's amazing.
I heard that on KMPR.
That is so amazing.
Oh man.
I mean, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Maybe we can get DHL to sponsor the show here for JHL.
Yeah.
No, it'll be like this: Giants baseball 2024. A great night out. The best thing that happened is I had my windshield shattered. Unbelievable. I mean, it's somebody says Nick Ahmed will be their opening day starter.
It might be
Starting
because
shortstop.
Luciano still hasn't played. I don't even know. Have they even said when he's going to have his first game yet?
It's supposed to be any day this week, supposedly, but it keeps getting pushed back.
Giants baseball 2024. We bid $700 million on Ohtani, but we still hit Wilmer Flores and Michael Conforto three in the middle of the lineup. The Giants 3-4-5 last year sucked. Now they have, and it was because they had guys like Conforto and Yaz and just these donkeys in the middle of the lineup. Now they've got Soler surrounded by those guys.
Yes.
It's Conforto, Soler, and then Wade. Or Wade, Soler, and then Conforto. It's like train wreck. Absolute train wreck.
Yeah, Soler's not going to see a lot of good pitches to hit.
No, he's not.
No, he's not going to hit. The only chance he has is if Lee and Estrada get on base ahead of him. And
what do you think will be the reaction if we get to the first, I don't know, let's say we get to June 1st. And
60 games.
And Jung Hoo Lee's hitting 264 with 2 home runs.
I expect him. I expect him to hit about 2. I think if Larry, I do think if he's hitting 264, with a couple of home runs, I think that's probably a decent start to his career. Because 264 in the first year, if he can hit that, he's going to probably eventually hit 290 in the big leagues. Because the first year is going to be an adjustment. I don't expect him to have any pop for home runs. I would be shocked if he hit more than if he made double digits.
264 for $113 million. You'd be happy with that?
I don't know if it's for the money. When you talk about the money, no, it's not good for the money.
How about this? Giants baseball, and this is the question I'd love to ask Giants fans. Giants baseball, is there anything they could do that would make you turn on them? Because there's so many people that are just so rah-rah. And it's amazing because you watch the Niners, their fans are way more critical. The Warrior fans are way more critical. The Giants fans are like, as long as the lights are on, they're happy.
Yeah.
Giants baseball, you were there for me.
Yeah.
We won nothing, but at least there was a game. Maybe that's the slogan. Giants baseball 2024. We won shit, but at least there was a game.
Right. At least there was a game.
Oh my!
I went to dinner in Vegas with Lou Marston, and we talked a lot of Giants. Oh, it was great. It was absolutely great.
I bet it was great. Lou comes in here.
Lou's hot on them right now.
Yes,
Lou is hot. He was in the chat earlier tonight. I don't know if he's probably went to bed. Lou was here early on in the very beginning at 9 o'clock. It's now 10 after 11 almost. Wow. I wish it was 10 after 11. It's 12. It's 10 after 12 here in Arizona. Another week or two. When is daylight savings?
Week
and a half away, right? March 7th, 10th. Something like that. 10th.
I always love the people who take it beyond baseball too. I don't mind Farhan. I just don't like the fact that the owner's donating to causes.
Oh. Oh, I know. It's like what?
Yeah, now let's care about something that has zero to do with
Zero.
Giants baseball.
Zero.
Yeah, if he
Yeah.
would put his money into the Giants, what he does with those MAGA guys, it's like,
Come on.
oh, but it's
Really?
okay if it would be okay if he was giving it to the other side that you whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's his money. It's his own personal money. Plus, the guy's 90 years old. He lives in Florida, and
He doesn't even have anything.
he doesn't
to do
even
with
have
the
any
club.
say what's going on with the Giants.
It's his son.
I don't care who he gives to.
Me
I'd
either.
rather him give it to Boris for a left fielder.
Yeah.
I mean, my God. I don't know. We probably have said it all.
Yeah.
We probably have said it all. Cliff Martinez is Larry reading the opening day roster. Who are these fucking guys? Major League. I mean, it seriously is. It's like a Willie Mays Hayes situation right now.
Willie Mays Hayes. Yeah. That
Seriously.
was such a oh man. This oh gosh. It's gonna be interesting. I would just rather see them, if they're not gonna play well, they're not gonna just play all the kids. Every one of them.
They don't even have hardly any kids.
I mean,
Be like-
Matos,
I mean, that-
Ramos, and Lee.
Yeah.
Schmidt, Luciano, Estrada. Heck, I'd rather see Bryce Eldridge just skip the rest of the minors and just come right up. Let's see what they got. No, who is their first baseman coming up? They don't have a first baseman in the system. How do you not have a first baseman in the system?
It's going to be Bryce Eldridge.
They had
right? They've been there for
McCovey,
years.
Will Clark, and all those guys.
Yeah, but there's the next first
How
baseman.
about the people that told me over and over again that the Giants were smart to not sign Reese Hoskins and to go with Wilmer Flores and Lamont Wade?
Right. Yeah.
I've got those people in my comments. I'm sitting there going, "What? Really?" So now in this backwards world we're in, Lamont Wade and Wilmer Flores are better than those two flawed players are better than one Reese Hoskins.
Yeah. Why not make Flores, your great pinch hitter that occasionally plays it in the field, but becomes, your guy that gets into almost every game because you need a pinch hitter and plays an occasional third or first base, maybe DHs here and there. But, I don't understand. What blows me away with Farhan's thinking is, and this is the opposite of what the Dodgers do. Farhan says, well, we have a right fielder in Yaz. Why do we need a Bellinger? Why do we
what?
Why do we need to trade for Randy Arozarena? I've got a right fielder. Why do I need Reese Hoskins? I've got Flores at first base. It's like, how about getting better guys and then moving those guys behind them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very thin baseball team.
Exactly. Yes. It's like, I don't get that.
Cooper Hummel.
Yeah.
That's Farhan. Farhan is Cooper Hummel.
Yeah, Cooper Hummel, a guy who could catch. And, speaking of first base, this is what I would do. This is what I would do if this team flounders. Win. But at some point, when they're not mathematically eliminated, but eliminated, by June, let's get rid of Flores and get a trade, get something for him while he's still signed to a really cheap contract for the rest of this year and next year. Some team like the Dodgers would love Flores coming off the bench, hitting, for them, or someone like the Braves or some good team would love a Flores on your bench, right? I mean, and let's put Blake Sable at first, a guy who can hit. He's a young guy. How about a left-handed power guy, hitting guy who is 6'4", who's a great target to throw to over at first base. 6'4" is a lot better than throwing to Lamont Wade at 6 feet. I mean, when you're throwing across the diamond and you got this big guy, tall guy, that's why, Stretch was so good. Brandon Belt was a tall guy. You want a tall guy. I'd like to see Blake
I'd
Sable
love to-
sit at first base.
I'd like to see them trade Joey Bart for Pavin Smith. Get Pavin Smith and the other guy, what was his name, McCarthy. I mean, Joey Bart to the Diamondbacks for Pavin Smith and Jake McCarthy, and you play McCarthy a little bit in the corner outfield, and you play Pavin Smith at first base. And Smith's 28, and McCarthy's 26.
I think Arizona's got their backup catcher and catcher. They got, what's that rookie?
Moreno, Jose Herrera.
There was someone that they picked up in offseason as their backup catcher. Who was it? I can't remember. It was somebody. They picked up somebody for their backup catcher.
They have Jose Herrera. Backup catcher.
Gosh, there was someone they picked up somebody, and I can't remember who it was right in the offseason.
Who's that?
He's saying Arizona.
They picked up remember we talked about it. They picked up a backup
Suarez?
catcher. No, Suarez is third base.
Yeah,
the two guys.
You said a catcher? They picked up a catcher?
Yeah.
They have Gabe Moreno and Jose Herrera.
It's Herrera?
I don't know. Yeah,
I thought there was someone else they picked up.
I don't recall them picking up a catcher.
I mean, look at that. Look at their outfield.
Oh,
they've got Corbin Carroll. They signed Lourdes Gurriel.
And Alec Thomas.
They signed Randall Grichuk.
That's right. Grichuk's a great hitter against left-handed
pitching. You have Jake McCarthy. You have Jock Peterson. You have Alec Thomas. You have Pavin
Smith.
Center
fielder.
They have seven good outfielders who are all in their 20s, basically, except for Gurriel, who's like, I guess Grichuk's 32.
Cliff, thanks for those tickets. They were great, by the way. They were great tickets. What else do you want to do to play they're trying to get me into fantasy baseball, Larry. They've got about 8 to 10 guys ready to play. I
can't do that.
It's
too much. It's too much.
It's hard for me to do that every day. Yeah.
Supposedly it's not every day. That's what Senior kept saying.
Yeah. I like
Danny makes too many trades. He's too invested in fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy football is enough for me, man. But
you never played until 2 years ago.
2 years ago, but I've been in the playoffs both years.
But you mastered the draft, and you made a shit ton of trades.
I didn't have.
You know what? Maybe you and Farhan are kind of one and the same. It's like neither of you have won a championship.
I did win a championship.
I thought you did not.
I won the league this year.
Rise League, where Rise the Commission, he's making faulty moves.
Not that league, no.
Oh, that was bad.
I won this year's league, and
we did have a controversy in the fantasy league, if you remember.
I remember that.
Yes. That was classic. Oh man, Larry.
A lot of improprieties. It was a great live stream too when we outed him.
I can't believe you did
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I was watching like, what is going on?
It was an epic live stream.
Proctor looked like he was ready to freaking like go
Proctor,
after him, man.
Proctor was like, freaking congressional fucking hearing.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah.
Proctor.
Rise forgetting. I don't remember. The trade was made in the third quarter of the game. I don't recall.
I remember that was so awkward.
It's good stuff, man. Really good stuff.
That was. You might have to pull that one out of the archives. And
that's an all timer right there.
Yeah, Sean was pretty much he was like an attorney drilling him, man.
Oh, he was drilling him, and I was like, wow.
It's just like, dude.
Okay, so let's go to the 19th of the month when our records show. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing like a
Well,
good cheating fantasy league, and
yeah, especially when there
uh,
was no money in it. There was no
no
money in the
money.
league.
But which really,
And it was the commissioner who was
why
cheating.
why not lose face to make nothing?
Yeah.
What's your maybe that's what Farhan's slogan should be. Farhan Zaidi, Giants baseball 2024. What's your credibility worth?
Well, in one way, you can't say Rye didn't have a competitive nature. To cheat with the league with nothing on the line financially, the game,
Oh,
he just wanted to win.
he just wanted to win.
just wanted to
so
win.
It was like a kid in the third grade. His name was Bernard. He was in my third grade class, and we were having a spelling test. And I looked over at him, and I saw that he had the words in the book open on his lap, and he was looking down. And a young Larry Krueger looked at his third grade counterpart and said, "Hey, he's cheating. He's cheating right there." Third grade teacher came over, saw that Bernard had the words in his lap. She said, "Bernard, are you cheating?" Bernard said, "No, I'm just looking ahead at the next word." She bought that story,
Wow.
and I called BS right then and there. I'm like, that's BS. And then
Larry's done nothing's changed.
And who missed recess, Danny?
You did.
Yeah.
I did. He was cheating on a spelling test. Bernard. I called him out. He claimed he was just looking ahead at the next word so he could be better prepared. I said, when you look at the word, don't you kind of look how to spell the word? And he said, "No, I'm not looking how to spell the word. I'm just looking ahead, so I'm not surprised."
So I'm not.
And the teacher bought Bernard's story, and I said, "Bullshit, bullshit."
and Bernard
And
is
Larry, for saying bullshit, missed recess that day.
and Bernard now is some
Bernard probably
is,
runs a hedge fund.
Yeah, exactly.
He runs a hedge fund.
Oh man,
he might be one of the new Giants owners. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, that's classic. That's
So
a
the teacher of that class was as judgmental as Giants fans are of Farhan.
wow.
They will not question him.
So
They will not question him.
Bernard gets an open.
I'm just looking ahead to see the next word.
And she bought it. Wow.
She bought it because she was a clown. And I said, "Bullshit." Oh, bullshit. Oh, somebody's not going to recess.
you're done.
Oh, yeah. We had a show on the other night, Larry. We pulled up on Google Earth my old stomping grounds, my old house I grew up in, and then we walked down and we showed the path to my school. And the path,
Really not a lot going on, huh?
I was in fourth grade, and I didn't let kids walk through the path on their way home without paying me money.
Oh, look at you. You had a tariff. It was a toll road.
Yeah.
It's like goddamn Orange County over there.
Yeah. I was part of the cartels at an early age.
Look at you.
Would
you like to travel these roads?
The principal followed me home one day, and then next day I got a call to the office, had a call with my mother, I guess. And I now had detention for 30 minutes after school until everybody was safely home. And then I could go home when it was clear and all the kids got through. So yeah, it was, it was taxation.
You're a man before your time.
Yeah. Secure money. Who knew that would be, I would be, securing people's money as I stole their money.
A little for you and a little for them. There you go.
Yeah. Little rough childhood, a little bit rough. little had some anger issues there in 4th, 5th grade as
We all
had to,
do.
had to work through some things. Several fights that I was in. Never lost a fight though.
Look at you.
Yeah, I
You're like,
watched.
you're like fucking Mike goddamn Tyson over here.
I'll never forget the fight in the park, which I showed you Cal Park, where the swimming was for the
Right.
Olympics, pre-Olympic trials. We had this park that was connected to our school, and you talk about wrestling a lot on your show. I watched wrestling as a kid, and I had this kid down and I was pounding him on his face, and
Doesn't sound very nice.
And then we were right next to the 6-foot chain link fence. So I had him down and he was kind of out. So I started to climb the chain link fence and I was getting ready to jump him. And that's when they intervened and somebody, they stopped.
They being the California Highway Patrol, or
just I think the kids and the teacher, whatever. I was just gonna go for
he was blind with rage.
look at you. You were going for the finish.
I was going for the finish.
You were like Johnny in Karate Kid. You were about to sweep the fucking leg.
But
sweep the leg, Coach Emilio.
I haven't been in a fight since grade school. I stopped. Just came. Just went through a couple rough years. And
sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, yeah. So
yeah, Dan in the Octagon. Mark Graves says Dan in the Octagon.
Yeah, no.
Be like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. 2 men enter, 1 man leave. We'll start chanting that. Tina Turner. All right, now I'm getting tired. Hey, I gotta crash.
You got early morning. You got wake up. You got wake up tomorrow, or no? Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yes, Friday. So it's not Wednesday yet until for a couple weeks or next week or whatever. But
you guys haven't started wake ups yet?
Well, we go Monday, Friday.
But
tomorrow I've got the great Nick Allegretti of the Chiefs.
Oh, the Chiefs. Is he a free agent?
He is a free agent.
Are you going to ask him about would he sign with the Niners? Or
yes, I am going to ask him if he would sign with the Niners.
Would he be a backup guard or a starting guard?
I think if they signed him, I think he'd be a starting right guard.
Okay,
he's been a backup with the Chiefs, but I thought he played pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah,
he's smart. He's got a wrestling background. Tough guy.
Yeah, I like those wrestlers. Yeah.
Wrestling. No, actual wrestler, not a wrestler.
Yeah,
not a wrestler.
College wrestlers, man, they're tough on the line.
Yeah.
Get me a wrestler because plus they know how to hold good and then let go. That's
all right, man. Good stuff. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon, Eric. Good to see you. Have a great night.
You too, Dan. Or Dan, Larry.
Yeah. Have a good one.
All right, Larry.
Giants baseball 2024. It's time for bed.
Nice. That was good.
All right, Larry Krueger, the great Larry Krueger. That's awesome.
Man, there was a bunch of good ones in there.
There's some good shirts that we've got, man. Woo. You can make some good shirts. You could probably sell them there on the Embarcadero. heading up to the game. It's great because I love the city and walking the cool breeze, especially when I come up from Arizona in July.
Right.
And it's it's freaking 115 here. I go up there and it's 65 degrees and I got a breeze and I'm walking along the Embarcadero in my shorts. And I'll wear shorts. I have not worn jeans since 2022.
Oh yeah, not in Arizona.
Exactly. I just shorts everywhere. And if I'm cold, I'll put a sweatshirt on, but I'm wearing shorts. I'm not putting pants on. I hate being restricted with my leg. I like I can move quicker. Everything's good. So it's shorts, man. And but I'll wear shorts up to the ball game at Oracle too, even though it's freezing. As long as my upper body, I'm not cold, my legs are fine.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I have had to wear slacks to work, which when I see a client,
Yeah, you
I don't
got to.
I got to wear the slacks, but not the jeans. No jeans.
No jeans.
No, too stiff. Too stiff. Yeah. So yeah, what a night though.
Very good night. That was nice.
We had over 155 or plus
Yeah,
in
we were in
the
the
chat.
150s. We were sitting in the 150s. It was nice.
Yeah. So guys, thanks for being with us. Guys, we're committed to doing the Giants. We got to have fun. Yeah, Howard says my dad slept with the AC on during the winter with the fan and window open. Yeah, I sleep every night with the AC down to 72 and the fan on. Yeah.
Hmm.
And in the winter, I let it get as low as it'll go in the lows. About as low as it got this year is about 64, 65.
Jeez, nice.
Yeah, I mean, the heat didn't, even come on. I put the heat, set it to go down to 60 and it wouldn't even come on. I got pretty good insulation though in the house because I got foam insulation in the walls
Nice.
and the attic. You could go up in the attic when it's 115. In the old houses without the foam insulation, you'd freaking die in there. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, you could die up there. With the foam insulation, it's actually manageable.
Yep. Cliff Martinez trying to get you into this.
You do the draft, and I run the day-to-day operations. If we win, you get 10% of the earnings. I could probably do that. I'll be like, I won't even be like Shanahan. I won't even care what you do, Cliff. I won't be like, wait, timeout. We're not running that defense. No, timeout, Cliff. We're not playing Conforto today. We're not. Cliff, what happens if I drafted all Giants? Would I still get 10%? Well, we wouldn't have to worry about the winnings. But if I drafted, I want to do that. I want to draft all Giants. Let's put a team together. If we don't have enough teams, we'll make a team that just drafts all Giants and just see how it does on autopilot. Every Giants pitcher, every Giants position player, that's the team. How many guys you get in this? Do you get 26? I have no idea.
I don't think so. I think it's 20, right? Or something like that.
Right.
Senior would know.
All Giants.
I'll consult with you on all trades.
Let's put a team in there that has all Giants against the field and see how the Giants do. Seriously. It's not going to hurt anybody if you don't get Estrada. Maybe Webb.
And Doval.
Webb and Duvall people would like, so. Wow. Matthew says he's the same way. 68 degrees. I can't sleep because it's too. Yeah, I hate it. I hate being hot. You can always cover up with sheets and blankets.
But you can't when it's hot.
Yeah. Man. I got solar now too, so I don't really care what the bills, in the summer when it's freaking hot. I'm running the AC. I'm not gonna sit there and suffer. I'm gonna be comfortable.
Chardonnay with the popcorn.
I had my cabin in Idaho. I had 3 of those. What do they call those ACs? Those mini splits. Call them mini splits. Put the air out and the heat. If you've been in a hotel, you may have seen a mini split. They're kind of rectangular, and then they open up, and you don't because. But those are nice. They're really nice. And having 3 of them, had one in the master bedroom, one in the family room, and one in the I can't kitchen area, but yeah, it was nice. It was nice. So what do we got? Shorts every day. Yeah, Ron, there you go. Does Ron wear shorts every day too? You got to wear shorts, man. You can do shorts in the Bay Area still. I know it gets cold some days, but you can pull it off. You could pull it off. Heck, I wear shorts in Idaho until it started getting into the
Snowing.
30s. You know. But Nick says I wanted to draft Slater in the 3rd round. Oh man. So guys, we're gonna have fun this year. I mean, heck, if the Giants do well and surprise us all, we'll have even more fun. It'll be enjoyable to see the Giants playing well. You know, we're gonna root for the young guys. We're gonna root for the team to win. But you know what? I'm going into this season not any expectations and of things going well. So I'm not going to be disappointed if things go as expected, having a losing record. But do we want them to win and play well? Yeah. Remember how excited we got last year during that 10-game winning streak?
Yep.
It was fun.
It was fun.
But guys, we're not going to blow smoke up your butt. Okay? That doesn't happen here. We're not going to tell you how great the team is when they're not. And if they are really good, I'm not going to knock them.
So. Yeah, we'll say
not going to knock them if they're good.
Yep.
We'll just tell it like it is. Howard Cosell here, just telling it like it is. Right there. Right there. He hit the ball. Right there. Yes. Matthew says, Dan, I used to live with a girlfriend who would turn the heat up to 80 because she said she was cold during the summer. That relationship didn't last long. Heat during the summer, 80. That's crazy. Oh, 80. Ooh. That's the hardest part. My job in the summer here in Arizona. I go into retired people's homes.
Oh, and it's warmer.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there sweating. And I'm like trying to get a deal done. And I'm like, man, can we get this thing moving? Because I am about ready to just, what are you doing? And I'm thinking, and I say, oh, what do you keep your temp? 83.
Oh.
What? 83.
83.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay their electric bill. 83. Yep. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's warm in your house.
That's warm.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. So when's the next Military History Chronicles?
I'm gonna go Saturday. Yesterday was a good episode. Wow.
Hey guys, new to the chat. Most of you guys are here. Even if you don't want to watch Military History Chronicles because it's not maybe your thing, that's cool. Like I'm not going to watch some engineering program. No offense to you engineers if there's any out there, but I have no knowledge, no interest, no desire to listen to an engineer tell me how he calculated to come to this conclusion to build something.
Thanks, Jim.
But go subscribe to MHC, Military History Chronicles. Just open it up on your phone. Hit subscribe. How many subs you got right now, Eric?
I think I'm at 151. Man, I got like a 10 subscribe jump last night.
All right.
I know it's piddly, but
you're at 151. That tells me that you can pick up another
153. Look at that.
Okay. That tells me you can pick up another 22 right now. I want to get Eric to 175 tonight.
Woo! Look at that. Right. Appreciate that, Dan.
Hold on. Let me open this up, guys. I'm going to show you right here.
I could hear. You want me to share? I could share it.
There it is. Military History Chronicles. Right there.
Yep.
There's the show last night, Rising Stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, I hit the.
There you
So
go.
go sign up. All you got to do is go into your search bar, type in there Military History Chronicles, and hit subscribe. It's
Yep.
very simple. Don't like put it off. Just do it real quick.
Don't put it off. Just do it real quick.
Just go ahead. Just do it right now. I don't know if you have to. If you're on your computer, you can open up a new window. I think you can open up a new.
Yeah, you can open up a new tab. Yep.
Can you open up a new tab on your phone if you're watching this on YouTube?
I
if
don't
you
know
can.
about.
I don't know if you can do it on your phone, but just go do it. We'd love to see the numbers hit 175 right now. Maybe even we'll get you to 200. Military History Chronicles.
There you go.
Like I said, you don't have to watch it. Just subscribe. You don't need to get notifications on if you don't want to. Just subscribe. You're helping another person out. You're helping Eric out.
Appreciate that.
And it's really quite simple. Look,
It's really quite simple.
Has anybody got a channel out there they need me to subscribe to? SG
Yeah.
Sports Talk. Let's try that one.
Oh yeah, there we go. Here, I'll bring it up.
SG Sports Talk channel. Look at that. See that? You guys see that? SG Sports Talk.
Come on.
Can you see it?
Hold on. Yeah, I see it right there.
Look,
Hoodie.
it says subscribe. I'm just going to hit subscribe right now.
There you go.
Boom. Chardals. I'm subscribed.
Come on,
Okay.
Hoodie. I do not have TDS. Come on there, buddy. Come on now.
What
I
is
do not.
TDS?
Trump derangement syndrome. I do not
Oh.
have that. Negative. Negative. Do I like the things that he does? No, but hey, right? You should be able to criticize. You should be able to acknowledge where he's done well and criticize where he hasn't. If you call that TDS, well, then that's not on me.
All right, Johnny T. Boom. Just subscribe. Thank you, Johnny T.
Appreciate it, Johnny. Thanks.
Who else needs to subscribe in this chat? How about Nick's a subscriber, isn't he? Nick Cara Chilo? I don't know how to say it. I should know how to say Nick's last name.
Caracillo, I think. I could be wrong.
I should know.
No, Eric practically has a MAGA hat.
Where are you at now? How many subs you at right now?
I think I am at 155.
Oh, come on, guys. 20 more in the
worries,
chat.
no worries.
20 more. 20 more.
It's not for everyone. I get it.
I know, but you don't have to watch it. Just help somebody out. Come on. He's trying to grow a channel. All you got to do, again, just YouTube's based on subscribers. And, once you get to 500, you can get super chats. Once you get to 1,000, you can
Thanks,
get
J Money.
You can get monetized, start making some money. Come on, just subscribe. I got subscribers that don't even could care less what we're talking about.
Hoodie, you never heard me criticize the other. You're telling me you never heard me criticize Biden? You got to look at this. You got to look at some past shows, my friend. You got to. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know you're a loyal subscriber. Appreciate it. Yeah, go check out some old episodes. You will definitely see I criticize President Biden.
I like that, Howard. I like what you just wrote. Yeah, Cryptic Trader. Yeah, Eric goes off on Diaper Joe.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, he'll get there. So just keep making good content. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Come on. This is late night stuff right now. We're kind of just shooting the breeze at this point. So this is just this is like just think of us sitting around in a big bar or big restaurant.
Yeah, just hanging out, having a conversation.
We're just hanging, having a conversation now. So go subscribe to Military History Chronicles, or I'm going to get really mad. No, no, come on, subscribe. Come on. We bring you good material here for your entertainment on NorCal Sports every night. when
Oh yeah, we
it's
do.
not easy. It's not easy to do this show when there's not a lot to talk about. So just for that, you should just go be thankful and subscribe to. And you know what? If you watch the show, you'll like it. You'll learn some stuff. You'll actually
try.
learn.
Yep, I try.
You'll actually learn about current events. You'll learn about history. I just learned that George Washington was our first president. I had no idea.
That's pretty good.
And that Abe Lincoln was the president of the Union of the U.S. when the Civil War. I didn't know. I knew that, guys. I'm kidding. Bay Area GM subscribed. All right.
Appreciate that.
Let's get some more. Come on. We're just going to do an all-nighter right here. Hold on. Let me just get my...
Oh, my God.
See? I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, there you go.
I got my Crocs on. Yeah, I'm going to just stretch back.
See, Dan was ready for some MH. He's got his damn Air Force Academy shirt on.
That's right. Look at that. Look at that. Air Force Academy. Even Buster, man, he's into Military History Chronicles. Guys, I could start singing a tune here if we're not going to subscribe.
Oh, man.
Tiptoe through the garden.
Little Tiny Tim, huh?
Little Tiny Tim. I wish I could play, man. I'd play you some Have You Ever Seen the Rain?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I can't sing. You know what? When God was passing out talents, he said, I'll let this guy have good hand-eye coordination. He can go out and catch a baseball, hit a ball, throw a ball, can run, could kick Eric's butt in ping pong.
No.
But I'm not giving him a voice to sing. In fact, I'm not even allowing him to carry a tune. Yeah, I am tone deaf. Every time I sing, it's bad. So I prayed for a singing voice because I would love to. Always wanted to be able to sing, but I can't. I have no musical instrument. This is my wife's guitar. I'm probably screwing it up just holding it. I hear something. I'm hearing something humming like a. I better put it down.
This is the kind of music we got here on NorCal.
Sign up for Military History Chronicles or this song plays forever. Hey, what was our opening? I didn't want to go too long with Ned, but I want to hear that again. What was that?
You want to hear? Oh, this is the one I've been playing. Here we go.
Yeah, let her rip. Go subscribe to Military History Chronicles. Testing my sales ability. Come on. Ben, give us a source. I'll see if I can find that.
What is it?
Just read the Giants may pursue Bumgarner.
Where'd you read that at?
Yeah,
I've been
that's
taking
what
a
I'm
look at
asking.
Twitter.
It's a
Yeah,
source.
I don't know.
I would
Yeah,
actually be fine with that at this point. You know,
I'll do the what a rush at the end of the show. I'll do. You know what? I'm uploading. I'm gonna give a little taste of what I did. I'm uploading the intro that I do for MHC. Maybe people kind of like the intro that I got.
You got a new intro?
No, it's the same one, but people who may not have seen it.
Oh, you're going to show it?
Yeah, I can if you want to.
Sure. What the heck?
All right, guys. This is the intro to my show. It's again, it's not basing on exactly what we talk, but you know, it's military history. So this is what I got. And there you go. Is this animation? No, it's just play the intro. I kind of like that intro, actually. Not too bad. Not too bad. Will. Oh, man. I got a couple of videos out there, too. I did the video on Alex Varashow. Fantastic Navy ace. Got a little video on that. And I also did a little video for Veterans Day. I probably could do the same. I probably could do the same one for Memorial Day, to be honest with you. It turned out pretty good, actually. Oh, so it's San Francisco Chronicle. That's what he's saying as far as Bumgarner is concerned. Rip Virgil. Oh, Virgil died? No kidding. No kidding. Wow. The bodyguard for the $1 Million Man or Ted DiBiase.
I like that. I like that music. I like the piano.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
I'm a piano guy. My daughters all played the piano, and they played it exceptionally well to the point where if they would have continued, they could have, been
really, really good.
I mean, yeah, they could have keyboard, in bands. They were really good. In fact, let me see. I wonder if I could can I play my daughters?
Arn Anderson died yesterday? No kidding. Wow.
Hold on. Let me see if
one of the original Four Horsemen.
Hold on here.
Oh, is that someone else? Ole Anderson. Ole Anderson. Not Arn. Ole Anderson. Got it. Never mind. Wrong Anderson. I don't see, honestly, thinking about the whole Bumgarner thing, I don't see him coming back to the Giants. I don't see that. Yeah, I saw that story today, Matt. Yeah, Tim, he died. Yeah, like you said, about a half a year ago. Ole, Anderson, Ole. Ben Bamboo said you can't send a link. That's the only if you got Twitter, send it to Dan or myself. We can't ever see it. For some reason, it blocks. What do I know about the legend of the unkillable soldier? No, I haven't heard anything about that. I'll have to look into that. Never heard about the legend of the unkillable soldier. Interesting.
Hold on here. What's going on here? Why don't I have any sound there?
You not hearing it?
Can you hear me, Eric?
I hear you. I hear you just fine. I hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, Dan can't hear me. Can you hear me, Dan? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me, Dan? I don't think Dan can. Dan, can you hear me? Hello. 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 Hey. Yep. I don't think Dan can hear me.
Hey, Eric, can you hear me?
I hear you.
I can't hear you. When I put it in my mic, I'll have to move it. Hold
Yeah,
on
you're
here.
gonna have to move it.
Let me put it back here. Talk now. See if I can
Yeah,
hear
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Test 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
shoot. Now I can't hear anything. Hold on. Hello?
Test 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Now I can hear you.
Ah, all right, there we go.
You know what? I'm going to pull something up here. I hope my daughters don't get mad, but I'm going to play a little recital song
Oh, here we go.
from a YouTube song. This is both my this is probably 7, 8 years ago,
Cool.
and they sing too. It's a Christmas song. Beautiful.
Nice.
So let me pull this up. Let me first get it ready. And also there'll be a little bit of it's in a studio, but there were some babies crying. It's kind of
Oh, okay.
bothered me, but anyway, let me see if I
That
can
happens.
do this. I'm gonna hide her. Let me see if I can hide her name because it's on her.
Yeah, you don't want that in there.
Okay.
The one-eyed soldier. Haven't heard of that there, Hoodie.
Okay. So one to present screen. Guys, you're in for a treat. You can listen to two of my youngest daughters. Again, this was years ago. 2016, I think. 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're now 25 and 20. So let me pull this up.
Cool deal. Oh, you can't hear me, can you?
Well, that
Can you hear me?
yeah, now I can
All
hear
right, cool.
you. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
deal.
That,
Nice.
whenever
Was that
I-
like at a school?
it was at their piano teacher's
Oh, like a recital?
yeah, recital.
Good.
But, yeah, every time it's been a long time since I hear that. I get a little choked up when I hear
Choked
it
up?
because it's just special to me.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, my two young ones. Yeah. So anyway, but let's call it a night. It's midnight,
Yep.
just past midnight. We'll come back tomorrow night, Thursday night. See, Warriors play on the East Coast, so that game should be over. Yeah,
Yeah, they're back east. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, tomorrow's the last
Um,
show of the week, right?
tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Oh, never mind. Second to last day of the week.
Yeah, feels like it.
It sure
Should
does.
be. Yeah. Wow. But anyway, thanks to our guests tonight, Ned Colletti and Larry Kruger.
That was awesome.
Fun
That was
night.
cool. Ned stayed a little bit longer too. That was nice.
Yeah. So I do think Otani's going to hit over 50 homers though
I think
this
so
year
too.
because the lineup
Because
he's in.
The lineup he's in, and he's only going to be hitting, and that's it. Not
Yeah, he's-
playing nothing else but hitting.
Nothing else. Yeah, I wouldn't shock me if he hits 60.
That'd be something.
Think about it. He doesn't pitch, and he's not going to get worn out pitching.
Nope.
He's got a lineup of Betts and Freeman and Will Smith
Muncy.
and Muncy and Outman. And Chris Taylor's, and I mean, all those guys are going to get better. He's going to make all those guys better.
Oh, Teoscar too.
In fact, I'm going to look at the over under if there's a bet on him to hit 50, because that would be it. Nobody in Dodger history has hit 50 home runs. I can't imagine if he stays healthy how he doesn't hit home runs this year. MLB, I don't know where you find that. I would love to find by the way, the Giants to win the Dodgers are plus 320. The Braves are plus 450. Astros 700. Yankees 800. Rangers 1400. Phillies 1500. Orioles plus 1500. That's a good bet right there. Is the Orioles maybe 1500? Bet $100 to win 1500.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants plus 6,500. Wow. Yeah, I got to find the player props. I got to find that. Anyway.
NL MVP. I don't know. Mookie Betts may be up there too.
Dan and Eric, who's your favorite for the NL MVP with Otani not pitching? I have to say Acuna. I'd like to go with. I mean, can Otani win the MVP if he hits 50 plus homers and
he wins the Triple Crown
and does something like that close to the Triple K? Sure, he could. Why not?
Good.
Who else could be MVP? Freeman, Acuna,
Betts,
Olsen, Harper,
Tom Murphy. That's pretty good. It's pretty good, hepatitis.
I needed a laugh. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Tom Murphy just sounds like he should be a boxer or something.
I know.
Tom Murphy. Let's what Giants? Every team has an all-star, right?
Who's going to be the Giants all-star?
Will they have more than one? Who is the one that is for sure, and who else do you think could?
Webb and Duvall. That's it. That's all I can say. Position player, I don't see it right now.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, I was thinking that, Matt. Son of a gun. He's took it right out. I was thinking Corbin Carroll as a sleeper MVP.
Yeah. I'm thinking a Giant who could make an all-star team would be two guys have a distant shot. That would be Estrada and Bailey if they had really good first halves.
Maybe Conforto if he comes back.
Yeah, I mean, potential. you know, your DH is going to be Ohtani. Who else could be?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else. You never know, though. You never know.
Yeah. Well, we'll deal with it later. It's 1:10 here. I got to get some sleep.
Exactly.
And yeah. All right, guys.
Let's get out of here, guys.
We'll come back tomorrow.
We'll see you
night.
tomorrow at
Where'd you end up?
8:30.
Where'd you end up with subs?
I think I finished at 159. Not so bad.
159.
Not going to
So
complain.
picked up about 7 there in the 6, 5?
Seven.
Were we-
7.
7,
I was at
152, 150. Okay. Hey, if we got 7 every night, that would be good.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All of a
No doubt
sudden,
about
I'm the sidekick to Eric.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah. Where are we at here on NorCal Sports?
We are at 1619.
1619. Hey, is that a gun? Wait, or what's that one gun?
1911.
No, there's another one. No, not yeah, it's 1911 I knew, but the 1619, what's that thing that people go back to in history? What's that date?
Oh, yeah, I know what that is. It has to
1691 or what? No, what's that?
No, it was 1619. It has to do when the slave trade started in North America.
Okay. That's yeah. All right, we don't want anything to do with that. So
no, I mean it's part of history.
Yeah, right. But I'm not. Yeah, I was thinking about this. China, because I have 2 adopted children as well from China, and I was telling my son the other day, you're fortunate you're not in China. I mean, and I was thinking about China and what their drive for power, economic power, and how it's a communist nation. What you basically have is slave labor over there. It's basically I've talked
much. How much do they get paid? Yeah.
It's
pretty.
It's in factories, and they're making everything, and everything is so cheap. And the people, we get on the Chinese or whatever. It's the government. The Chinese people are wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always the government.
And as is with most nations, I've been to a lot of places. I can't speak for what it's like in the Gaza and stuff like that. Those people, I don't know if they're, probably if they had the freedom to not be brainwashed by their government to, want to kill everybody. But I remember having somebody tell me in China, she said we were leaving, we were shopping in the store, and I was having fun with her, and she said, "Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky," to my daughter that we were adopting. She was 5. She says, "Can I go home with you?" Yeah, they wanted to. Yeah, just sad, the life that. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
If I'm talking softly, it's because I am. I'm tired. I'm worn out. I have nothing left. Join NorCal Sports Network, where there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. Not like where it's the Giants, where it's nothing to like. There is something to like.
Speaking of 1911, do you own a 1911, Eric?
No, I do not.
Let me guess.
No, I don't have a gun, to be honest with you.
Really?
Nope.
In California?
Nope.
Will B.
No.
Come on. Will B's
Will,
got
I'm
it.
sure does. Let's
Is it a big hassle to get a gun in California?
No, I mean, you just gotta wait, I'm pretty sure. But I never really tried, so
Very true. Um, do not take our freedom for granted. Very true.
a mini 1911. Is it
Is
still
a
a
mini
45?
1911.
Is it still a 45?
Hmm. I don't. I have a 357.
I'm guessing that's a revolver.
Yeah, that one's a revolver. I shot a 44 Magnum. Oh my goodness, the difference between that and the 357 night and day. I have a 9mm. I have a let's see. I have a 9. I have a 9, kind of a mini 9 for carry. I have a 357. My 40 got stolen.
Stolen?
Yeah. And then I have the Judge.
The
It's
heck's
a
the Judge?
revolver. The Judge is a revolver and it holds long 45. And
Oh, okay.
and snake shot. It's
Oh,
great in the
wow.
desert.
Yeah, I was gonna say with snakes.
Oh
How
man.
about the 454? That thing's a freaking hand cannon.
Yeah. I should play for you something with my son. Oh, that was so funny. Let me see if I can find that. That was hilarious. We were out shooting in the desert. Let me see if I can find it. That was in 20. Hold on, I'm going to go back. Got to go back on my phone. 20. Let's see if I can find that. That was so fun.
The best for home defense, though, man. Can't go wrong with the 12 gauge. Trust me, if there's an intruder and they hear a round getting racked, that alone should scare
Racked.
somebody.
Yeah.
Don't have to
Okay.
worry about aiming.
Let's see. Where is this? Where's my shot? That wasn't it. That might be.
As a matter of fact, do you know what the 1911 was made? Why it was made, Dan?
No.
When they were fighting in the Philippines. When the army was fighting in the Philippines, the rounds that they had couldn't penetrate the bamboo armor that they had in the jungle.
Really?
Exact thing. There you go. See, Will knows too. They couldn't stop the Filipinos, so they had to develop a bigger round so it could drop them.
Who
And the
couldn't stop the
45
Filipinos?
The American Army.
Well, were we in a war with the Filipinos? With Philippines?
Spanish-American War.
1912? Is that
We're somewhere around there? Yeah, right. Yeah,
Spanish-American War in the Philippines? We were fighting.
correct. Because that was a Spanish-held territory, so we were fighting.
Right. I remember it was a Spanish-held territory,
Yep.
and we were fighting the Filipinos for what? To free them from the Spanish?
Yeah, I guess maybe they were fighting on the side of the Spanish. Maybe
But we were
don't
trying
know a lot about it.
I don't
But
know.
I do know about the history of that firearm where they had to develop a round to drop the Filipinos who had the bamboo armor. The muzzle velocity on a 45, and you could literally see the round leave the barrel and travel to the target. I mean, it's meant to just put somebody down. It's not meant to go through things.
Wow. Hold on here. Shooting.
Yeah, exactly. It just meant to drop somebody. Hey, Will, I know before I got out of the Air Force, I don't know what ever happened in the Army. I know they were talking about sidearms to go to go away from the 9mm and go back to the 45. I don't know if they ever did that or not. And
I'm cracking up watching my son
Shuttle?
shoot. My son shoot here in the desert. Check this out. We're playing. Target shooting.
Nice.
Yeah. There's some fun parts about living in Arizona that you can do have some fun, do some of that stuff. I was trying to find the one, but I couldn't find it where we shot the he put some big, I don't know what you call it, but Mike's son's on this like powder stuff, whatever, and we got about 100 yards away, and he shot it, and it's just like big explosion, you know.
Wow.
It just like, it was so fun. Big smoke going up and everything. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Will, when you get down to Arizona, take you. We'll go do some target shooting and in the desert. It's great. Hide behind things. Yeah, it's fun. Hey, I'm glad Chardal's here to tell me what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have no idea without him. So, all right, guys. Dan, did you not like Idaho? I did like Idaho, Hoodie. Hootie or Hoodie? Hootie. Hootie.
Hootie.
Bunch of old Western guns, too. Oh, nice, Will. You know what, Chardal? You're real close to just one more minute. Do it again. Do it again, Chardal. Do it again. What was this? Oh, question
Jake.
about Idaho.
Jake, I don't know what happened, but yes, we are still on.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, we were. I liked Idaho. I loved the area. I didn't care for the winters. A little gloomy. Got dark in December at 3:30 in the afternoon. Didn't see the sunshine until about 7 the next morning. It was kind of rough. But I loved the peace and freedom up there. You know, it was during COVID I moved. I'm not doing it again. Yeah, you were gonna. I'm not gonna ban you. I'm gonna put you in a timeout, which is a mini ban. But I'll let you go because we're going.
Yeah.
So everybody have a great night. I think Eric's got a rush for us tonight. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it tonight.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned for this. And we will see you guys tomorrow night. Until then, arrivederci. Ciao. What a rush!